Google Gemini 3 just dropped and it's insane. You can build apps with your voice, automate your entire business, turn videos into full courses in seconds, no code needed. This is the future of AI automation. All right, let's talk about Google Gemini 3. This thing is a beast. It's Google's newest AI model, and it's the smartest one they've ever made. And here's what's crazy. You can use it to build entire apps without writing a single line of code. You can automate your marketing workflows. You can turn a 2-hour webinar into a complete online course with quizzes and study guides, all with simple prompts, no tech skills required. In this full course, I'm going to show you exactly how to do all of that. We're going to cover everything from using Gemini 3 in the app for everyday tasks to building no-code tools in AI Studio. We'll analyze videos and turn them into courses, create images and content, and set up automated agent workflows that run tasks for you. This isn't just theory. We're building real projects like a YouTube to study guide, and SEO assistant that audits your site instantly, and a content planner that maps out months of posts in seconds. Everything is practical and you can start today. Best part, most of this is completely free. Let's dive in. Hey, if we haven't met already, I'm the digital avatar of Julian Goldie, CEO of SEO agency Goldie Agency. Whilst he's helping clients get more leads and customers, I'm here to help you get the latest AI updates. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below and let me know what you think. Okay, so Google just went absolutely insane with these Gemini updates. And I'm not talking about small stuff. I'm talking about features that actually change how you use AI every single day. Let me show you what just dropped. First thing, translation just got stupid good. Google Translate now runs on Gemini. And this isn't your old Google Translate that gives you weird robot words. This is natural, like talking to a real person. The AI understands context now, it gets tone, it gets what you actually mean, not just word for word translation. This is huge because most translation tools sound fake, but Gemini makes it sound like how people actually talk. But here's where it gets insane. They added live speech to speech translation, and it's in beta right now. What does that mean? You put on any headphones you already own, and you can have real-time conversations in 70 different languages. Think about that. You're traveling, someone speaks a language you don't know, you both put on headphones and you just talk. The AI translates everything live, both ways. It even keeps the tone and cadence. So it sounds natural, not robotic. This is like having a professional translator in your pocket, but it's free and it works with any headphones you already have. If you have Google AI Pro, you can now share your plan with 5 people. You just add them and they get full access to the premium AI models. You split it with your team or your family. Everyone gets Gemini 3 Pro. Everyone gets the advanced features. This is insane value. And if you don't want to share your main account, you can give people a 4-month free trial instead. So you can let people try the best AI models. This makes premium AI accessible to way more people. But wait, there's more. And this is where it gets really interesting for power users. Google just launched something called Disco. It's a new AI playground on the web. And the first feature is called Gen Tabs. This is crazy. You know how you have a bunch of browser tabs open? Gen Tabs takes those tabs and remixes them into custom web apps. Using Gemini 3, let me say that again, your tabs become apps. You're researching something, you have 10 tabs open. Gen Tabs turns all that into a working application, customized for what you're doing. This is next level productivity because instead of jumping between tabs, you have one unified workspace built by AI in seconds. Okay, here's something for the content creators and marketers. There's a tool called Pomeli, and they just added an animate feature. What does it do? You take your brand content, your static images, your designs, and it animates them using Veo 3.1, which is Google's video AI model. So now you can turn still images into animated videos automatically. No video editing skills needed. The AI does it for you. This is massive for social media, for ads, for any kind of visual content, because video performs way better than static images. And now the AI just makes the videos for you. Now, if you want to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Google Gemini, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where we teach you how to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. We cover all these tools, we give you the exact processes, and you get to see how other businesses are using Gemini and other AI tools to grow faster. The link is in the description. And trust me, if you're serious about using AI in your business, this is where you want to be. And if you're using Mixboard, they just shipped a bunch of new features. You can now do portfolio presentations using Nano Banana Pro, which is one of the new Gemini models. You can work on multi-board projects, so bigger, more complex work, and they added support for way more file types. This makes Mixboard way more powerful for creators who want AI integrated into their whole workflow. You're not just making one thing, you're building entire projects, and the AI helps with all of it. There's something called Doppel. It's a fashion try on AI, and they just made it way better. Now you get a personalized recommendations feed, so the AI learns your style and shows you clothes that actually match what you like, or you can shop looks directly. Just click and buy. And there's a collections feature, so you can save looks you want to try later. This is cool because AI is getting really good at understanding style, and now it can help you shop without you having to browse forever. The AI just shows you what works for you. Now let's talk about the developer stuff, because this matters even if you're not a developer. There's a tool called Jules Agent, and it now predicts and fixes tasks before you even ask. That's proactive AI. It's not waiting for you to tell it what to do. It's looking ahead, seeing what needs to happen, and doing it. Then there's Stitch by Google, and it now supports build-in with Gemini 3. So developers can integrate the newest AI models into their apps. And there's something called the Gemini Deep Research Agent. You can access it through the Interactions API. What does that mean? You can embed AI research capabilities into your own tools, so the AI can do deep research for you automatically inside whatever app you're building. And here's why this matters to you. Even if you're not building apps, when developers get better tools, the apps you use get better, the AI features you rely on get smarter. So all these developer updates mean the tools you use every day are about to get way more powerful. That's the real benefit here. Google also launched 2 new benchmark tools, and these are important. The first one is called Deep Search QA. It's open source, and it evaluates how good AI agents are at web research, so we can actually measure if the AI is finding good information or if it's just making stuff up. The second one is called the Facts Benchmark Suite. This is the first comprehensive way to evaluate factuality. It checks internal knowledge, it checks grounding, it checks multimodal stuff. Basically, it measures how real the AI's answers are. And why does this matter? Because AI that checks itself is AI you can actually trust. These benchmarks mean Google is being transparent about how accurate their models are, and that's huge for anyone using AI for real work. And here's what most people miss. Google is in a full-on AI war with OpenAI. OpenAI just launched GPT 5.2 after what they called a code red push. They're trying to counter Google's Gemini 3. This competition is insane, and you know what that means? Both companies are going to keep dropping better features, faster updates, more free stuff, because they're fighting for users. And that's amazing for us because we get better AI tools. So what should you actually do with all this? Start with the translation feature. If you travel, if you work with international clients, if you're learning a language, this is a game changer. Test it out. See how good it really is. Then if you have Google AI Pro, set up that sharing plan, get your team on it, or give someone that 4-month trial. Let them experience premium AI. And if you're a power user, try Gen Tabs. See if turning your tabs into apps actually saves you time. My guess is it will, especially if you're doing research or managing multiple projects. For creators, try Pomeli and Mixboard. See if the AI can actually make your content workflow faster. And if you're in fashion or e-commerce, check out Doppel. The personalization might surprise you. The point is, don't just watch videos about this stuff. Actually use it. That's where the real value is. That's where you figure out what actually helps your business or your life. Now, if you want to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Google Gemini, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where we teach you how to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. We cover all these tools. We give you the exact processes, and you get to see how other businesses are using Gemini and other AI tools to grow faster. The link is in the description. And trust me, if you're serious about using AI in your business, this is where you want to be. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+ AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. Gemini 3 can now do deep research and create visual reports with charts, images, and simulations. This is a game changer for business owners. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it and how it can save you hundreds of hours every single month. Let's go. So Google just released an update to Gemini that honestly blew my mind. This is different. This is actually useful. Let me tell you why. Before this update, if you wanted to do deep research on something, you had 2 options. You could spend hours doing it yourself, going through dozens of websites, taking notes, organizing everything, or you could ask an AI to help, but you just get a wall of text. The new deep research feature doesn't just give you text anymore. It creates full visual reports where we're talking custom images, charts, graphs, and even interactive simulations, all built specifically for your question all organized in a way that actually makes sense. This is huge for anyone running a business, creating content, or trying to understand complex topics fast. Let me show you how this works in practice. I'm going to use examples that are directly relevant to growing an online business, specifically something like the AI Profit Boardroom, because that's the whole point, right? We want to see how this tool actually helps real businesses get more customers and leads, not just theory, real world application. First, let's talk about what deep research actually is. When you select deep research in Gemini, you're not just getting a quick answer, you're getting a full research assistant that goes out and analyzes tons of sources, synthesizes all that information, and then presents it back to you in a comprehensive report. But here's where it gets interesting with this new update. Now, it doesn't just dump text on you, it creates visuals that help you understand the data better, charts that show trends, images that illustrate concepts, simulations that let you play with different scenarios. Here's a real example. Let's say you're running the AI Profit Boardroom and you want to understand how AI automation is changing the way businesses operate in different industries. Before, you'd have to research this yourself. You'd visit 10 or 20 websites. You'd read articles, you take notes, you try to organize it all in your head or in a document. That's hours of work, maybe even days if you want to do it right. Now, with Gemini 3 Deep Research, you just type in your question, something like analyze how AI automation is transforming business operations across 5 major industries, and create a visual report showing adoption rates, cost savings, and implementation challenges. You hit enter, you select Deep Research, and then you wait. But here's the thing, you're not waiting long. Maybe 10 or 15 minutes, depending on how complex your question is. And what you get back is incredible. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Gemini 3. Link is in the comment and description. It's at school.com/AI Profit Lab. You get a full report with sections breaking down each industry. You get charts showing adoption rates over time. You get graphs comparing cost savings across different sectors. You get images showing actual AI tools being used in those industries. And you get interactive simulations where you can adjust variables and see how outcomes change. All of this is created automatically. All of this is sourced from real data. All of this is presented in a way that's actually easy to understand and use. Now, let me show you another example that's super relevant. If you're trying to grow a community or business online, let's say you want to create a content strategy for the AI Profit Boardroom. You want to know what topics are trending, what people are searching for, what kind of content gets the most engagement. Normally, you'd have to use multiple tools. You'd check Google Trends. You'd look at competitor content. You'd analyze social media. You'd piece it all together yourself. With Gemini 3 Deep Research, you can ask it to research the top trending AI automation topics in business communities over the past 6 months, analyze engagement patterns, and create a visual content calendar with recommended topics, formats, and posting schedules. What you get back is a full visual report. You get a chart showing search volume trends for different topics. You get a breakdown of which content formats work best, like videos versus articles versus tutorials. You get a visual calendar showing when to post what type of content for maximum impact. And you get data on what competitors are doing that's working. This is where it gets really powerful for business owners, because now you're not guessing, you're not going with your gut, you're making decisions based on actual research and data, but you're not spending weeks doing that research. You're getting it all in one comprehensive visual report in minutes. Let me give you another practical example, budget allocation. This is something every business struggles with. Where do you spend your resources? How much should you invest in different areas? What's going to give you the best return? These are hard questions, and usually you'd need to hire a consultant or spend tons of time analyzing everything yourself. Now you can ask Gemini 3 to analyze optimal budget allocation for an AI automation business, focusing on content creation, community building, and tool development. Then create visual models showing different scenarios and their projected outcomes. What you get is amazing. You get pie charts showing recommended budget splits. You get bar graphs comparing different allocation strategies. You get visual simulations where you can adjust the budget percentages and see how it affects different outcomes. You can literally play with the numbers and see what happens. And here's what makes this so valuable. It's not just showing you one answer, it's showing you multiple scenarios. It's helping you understand the trade-offs. If you invest more in content creation, what happens to community growth? If you focus more on tool development, how does that impact your content output? These are the kinds of questions that help you make smarter decisions. And now you can see the answers visually instead of trying to imagine them in your head. The visual aspect is what really sets this apart from everything else out there. Our brains process visuals way faster than text. Studies show we can understand a chart or graph in seconds, but the same information in text form might take minutes to fully grasp. So when Gemini creates these visual reports, it's not just making things prettier, it's making the information more accessible and more useful. Let me show you how this works for content creation specifically. Say you're planning a series of videos for your community about AI tools. You want to know which tools to cover, in what order, and what angles to take. You could spend hours researching different AI tools, looking at reviews, checking popularity, trying to figure out what your audience wants. Or you could ask Gemini to research the top 20 AI automation tools for business owners, analyze their features, user satisfaction, and learning curves, then create a visual guide ranking them by usefulness for different business tasks. What you get back is incredible. You get a visual matrix showing all the tools on different axes. Maybe one axis is ease of use and the other is power. You can see at a glance which tools are simple but limited versus which ones are complex but powerful. You get charts showing user satisfaction scores. You get images of each tool's interface. You get breakdowns of pricing, and you get recommendations for which tools to cover first based on what your audience needs most. Now, here's something really cool about the interactive simulations. Let's say you're trying to understand how different variables affect business growth. You want to know how posting frequency, content quality, and community engagement all work together. This is complex stuff. There are lots of moving parts. Traditionally, you'd need a data scientist to build models for this. With Gemini 3, you can ask it to create an interactive simulation showing how posting frequency, content depth, and community interaction rates affect overall community growth for an AI automation business with adjustable variables to test different strategies. What you get is a simulation you can actually play with. You can move sliders to adjust posting frequency from once a week to daily. You can change content depth from quick tips to deep tutorials. You can adjust community interaction rates. And as you change these variables, you see the projected outcomes change in real time with visual graphs showing the impact. This is powerful because now you can test strategies without actually implementing them. You can see what might work before you commit time and resources. You can explore different scenarios and understand the potential outcomes. This is the kind of strategic planning tool that used to require expensive software and consultants. Now it's built right into Gemini. Let me talk about how this helps with understanding complex topics. One of the biggest challenges in AI and automation is that things move fast. New tools come out every week. New techniques get developed. New research gets published. It's hard to keep up. And when you're trying to educate a community like the AI Profit Boardroom, you need to stay on top of everything. With deep research, you can ask Gemini to analyze the latest developments in AI automation over the past month, identify the most significant updates, and create a visual report showing how each development impacts different business functions. What you get is a timeline visualization showing when each major update happened. You get descriptions of what changed and why it matters. You get charts showing which industries are affected most. You get comparisons showing how the new capabilities stack up against older methods. All of this is organized visually so you can scan it quickly and understand the landscape. This is especially useful when you're creating educational content, because now instead of just talking about something, you can show it, you can reference the charts and graphs that Gemini created, you can walk your audience through the visual data, you can make complex topics simple and engaging, and you can do all of this without spending hours creating graphics yourself or hiring a designer. If you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Gemini 3. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+A, I use cases like this one. Join the AI Success Lab, links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. We share what's working, what's not, and how to actually implement these tools in your business. No fluff, just practical strategies that work. Link is in the comment and description. Today, I'm going to show you how to build anything with Google Gemini. So today we're deep diving into Google Gemini 3 and the entire Google ecosystem for AI. And this is not just like another AI model drop. This is Google showing you how to automate your entire business without writing a single line of code. So here's what you're getting during this live stream. I'm going to show you how Notebook LM turns any content into automated videos and podcasts that work for you. We're going to look at Google Gems, and basically this is Google's answers to custom GPTs that actually work for your business. we'll look at layer 3, video automation, AI studio, and image generation as well inside Gemini. And this is the same ecosystem that lets you compete with teams of other people by just using these free tools. And the setup is pretty simple. So I'm showing you exactly how everything connects together. And if you've been using ChatGPT or Claude and feeling like you're missing out, you are. Google just handed you a complete automation system. Most people have no idea how to actually use it. So stay logged in. This changes everything. Let's get straight into it. So you can use Google Gemini 3 inside gemini.google.com. And from here, you can actually switch between these different tools. So for example, let's say you want to do something like deep research. Deep research is really good for just going super deep on a certain topic. So if you have a specific problem inside your business, deep research is one of the best ways to really figure out or learn the skill required to help you build that constraint. So let's say, for example, I need to improve churn rates at my SEO agency. I can say, okay, do a deep dive on how to improve churn rates for my SEO agency, plus some of the best strategies and actionable methods to improve that. And you can easily do that. Now, in the meantime, whilst waiting for that, if you're looking for ideas, if you're not sure, okay, what do I need to actually do deep on, or how can I use this practically for my business and personalize it to mine? Let's say you've been using Claude. You could go inside Claude here and you could say, okay, what's the number one constraint inside my business that I need to fix? And from here, you can get an idea. Now, Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, whichever AI you speak to most, will give you the answers, right? So for example, here, if you look at this example, it's based on your current situation, right? It's very personalized to me. The number one constraint is still awareness. Specifically, why don't 100x more people know about the AI profit boardroom, for example, right? And then it will give you a bunch of ideas. And then you can plug that into Gemini, for example, and you could go, okay, give me a deep research report that helps me solve this problem, right? Hit enter. It'll give you a proposal based on that. And then from there, you can start building this out. Lee Davis says, it's not live. It's an old live. It is a new live. Don't worry about that, Lee. We've got someone from Portugal. Welcome back. By the way, these videos, when we upload them after 24 hours, for YouTube auto-dubs them. But from here, we can start getting the research report. See, for example, you've got improving SEO agency retention, and it's basically going to research, analyze, investigate, give us actionable communication strategies, explore methods to fix it, identify proactive health check systems, and then look at retention tactics that improve results. And if you're happy with that, you can just click research. If you're not happy with that, you can click edit plan and then edit this before you actually go ahead, right? So you can actually say, okay, give me a list of actionable strategies plus organize them by the highest impact tasks first, then turn this into a 30-day actionable plan. And from here, you can start going off and doing it, right? Lee says, oops, I stand it corrected. It is live. There we go. CPT says, here's my guy. Could see it. And we're going to keep going through with this, right? So we're building this out, as you can see. Just update the list. Now we can improve it. Here's start research, and we can start automating it. Now, I think that's one of the most underrated ways to use this. What we can also do here is we can actually go into Notebook LM. Notebook LM is another free tool that uses Gemini 3. And then from here, we can start building stuff out as well, right? So for example, if you saw my live stream yesterday, you actually saw that we took our sales training SOP, plugged that into Notebook, created a kind of custom GPT, as you can see here, but it is a notebook and it's trained on our specific sales training. And then from here, we've got all these things on the right-hand side. So for example, we actually have a slide deck, right? If we pull this up, we've got a beautifully designed slide deck that we've automated with AI. And you can see how cool this is and the way that it's used. One of the best things about this is it's designed, it's user research that we've plugged in, so the sources that we've used specifically. So I plugged in the sales playbook for our team. And then you can see that it's designed it into a beautiful slideshow presentation, as you can see, right? And it's super actionable. It's easy to understand. It makes it easy for anyone reading this. And like the old way of designing presentations was time consuming, energy draining. And honestly, you probably couldn't create something as nice as this. I personally couldn't anyway. And you can see how it's, for example, even taken our core principles and the ideas from our sales playbook and turn that into like really digestible ways to actually implement this stuff, right? So really powerful. And then on the right-hand side here, you can see as well, we have a client report, right? So we have a report that we can use for understanding this. We have a infographic, as you can see. So it talks about, okay, what we sell, how we win, etc., what we do, etc. And then also we even have, for example, a video. I'm just going to mute, but this does have narration over the top and you can play this full screen. And then you can see here, we have a full animated and narrated video, custom designed by the notebook with the information that we plugged in, right? So in literally a few seconds, you can automate infographics, slide decks, presentations, videos, even podcasts. If we actually go back here and we scroll to the right-hand side, you can see we have a bunch of podcasts and we even have a mind map, right? So if people are not sure, okay, I need to learn more about the playbook, I'm not sure about, okay, for example, how to do end of day updates or how to analyze the client's content, we can click on that and they will actually give us information and break down each part of the report based on exactly what we need to do. So for example, like day-to-day activities, and then it tells you exactly what to do if you're learning this stuff, right? So for example, fill out the sales tracker, join the daily team sales meeting, track every lead, use the sales checklist if you don't have any calls, do your end of day updates, right? It breaks everything down from a really long playbook into something that's absolutely awesome. Amara says, agreed. I hope you're agreeing with me. And then you can see here, we've got the responses inside the notebook. Now, if you need to set up, all you do is you go inside, like create a new notebook. And then whenever you want to learn or automate or create reports or slide decks or videos or podcasts around, you can go onto YouTube here. Let's say, for example, I want to learn about how to use, let's see what we got. Google Disco, right? Let's say I want to learn about Google Disco. I can take this video, plug that into Notebook LM, click on YouTube, paste that in, hit insert. And now based on that information, we can now custom train the notebook and automate audio, video, mind maps, reports, flashcards, quizzes, infographics, slide decks, and we can do all of that in one click. Now, if we need to customize them even more, we can click on the edit button here and we're good to go on that. Now, if we go back to Gemini here, we've got the deep research report being created. And as you can see, it's researching loads of different sources. So you can see, for example, it's researching like SEO Mars, I think. We've got Paddle, Reddit, even YouTube, Surfer SEO as well, all these different places, and then identifying the primary causes of churn based on all of these different sources. These are all specific to my industry and the SEO industry as a whole. And then as we scroll down, it's taking even more sources. Like, look at this. It's literally researching every single possible resource on the internet and then building out this report. Really cool. And it's also going to use Nano Bananas to create visuals for the report as well. Now, Sharifa says, is there a list of steps to do this? Yeah, so actually, if you go to the AI Success Lab, which is a completely free community where you can connect with 39,000 members, you can actually post inside the community here. It's quite an active community. And then inside the classroom, if you scroll fast, all of these automations, you can see we just keep adding new automations as soon as new updates come out. And if we scroll down, you can get access to the notes from today. So if we scroll to this section right here, what you're going to see is that we actually have a full implementation roadmap for using this stuff. So if you want to learn how to use Gemini 3, Notebook, etc., we have a list of full step-by-step actionable ways to learn and master this stuff within 30 days. So you can get that for free, link in the comments description. Now, if we go back to Gemini, it's right in the report. So that'll take a few minutes to generate. You can see how easy this stuff is. And you've also got Notebook LM working there as well. All right. Now, if we also want to build mini apps or landing pages or websites, for example, or even tools, we can go over to AI Studio, aistudio.google.com, as you can see. Now, on the left-hand side, if you click on build over here, you can then describe your idea. And inside this section, you can basically describe exactly what you want, right? So let's say, for example, I need to build a tool. Maybe I'm not sure what tool I need to build. So I can go onto the AI that I use the most right now. So for example, like Claude, I can say, give me some ideas plus prompts, the basic mini apps I can build, plus order them in terms of the highest impact tools I could build today. Make them super simple so they're easy to build out. Basically, because Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, whichever one you use the most, knows you the best, it will actually know exactly what to build and what to create before you build it. And if you're not sure where to start, this is one of the best places to find what you need to build, right? So for example, like a churn risk calculator or a school launch calculator or a YouTube clip analyzer, right? And you see it's actually giving us high value ones here. So these are like top priority. These are the high value. And these are the quick wins. Now, why is that useful? It's useful because number one, you've got a bunch of ideas customized to you. But number two, you can quickly copy and paste these prompts into AI Studio to build whatever you want. And number three, this orders it in terms of what's the most useful, what's going to save you the most time right now. What could you implement today that would help you the most? There's no point building the app if you're not actually going to use it. So this is the best place to start. And then from there, you can start building out whatever you want. Right? And you can see how easy it is to do. Now, AI Studio is actually free to build with up to certain limits. So what you can do, for example, is let's say we wanted to create this, right? The churn risk calculator. We can copy this like so, right? And then we say, okay, create a prompt for building this. And now we can identify exactly how to build it as well, right? So I don't need to think of the idea. I don't need to think of which one is the most important. I don't even need to think about how to prompt the AI Studio to create it. I can just copy this prompt like you can see right here. Then we can go over to AI Studio, plug that in. And over here, you can see the supercharge your apps with AI, right? So let's say you were creating something that was voice powered. Well, you could click on that and it would actually add it as an operator inside the AI Studio prompts, right? Which means that when you're building this out, it's going to use different elements of all the AI ecosystem within Google. So for example, you could empower this tool to use Google search data or animate images or create conversational voice apps or generate images yourself with it, right? So the difference between this and this is that with this one, you generate video, with this one, you generate images, right? And then we can X off that, click build, and we're good to go on that. Now, whilst waiting for that to build, let me show you exactly what I've built previously. This helped me a lot. For example, if I go to apps over here, you can see we've built like a live keyword generator, a research visualizer, AI content creator landing page builder, the AI support voice agent, right? So it's actually a live voice agent that I can interact with and ask questions to. As you can see, I just have to allow my microphone. And then from here, I can start asking the AI questions with the voice agent. And all this stuff is super easy to build. So this is building in the background right now, as you can see. And then we'll just wait for that. It's just been running for 35 seconds. It will take a little while to generate. If we go back to Google Gemini, we now have the deep research report, as you can see. We can actually export that, right? So we can export it to Google Docs if that's easier to read and learn from. So if we export that to Google Docs, you can see how this operates within the ecosystem. So not only can you use like NotebookLM and Google Gemini and AI Studio to build stuff and automate stuff for you, but also you can, again, export this stuff to, for example, Google Docs or Google Sheets, etc., and just make it super easy and simple. Right? Is Geo something that we're learning? Also, if you want to learn about Geo, check out the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you go to AI Profit Boardroom here, go to the classroom, and then type in SEO, AI SEO, you can go to the best AI SEO automations we have. Link in the comments description, and you can learn about Geo and how to rank inside AI search engines and how to leverage AI to rank using these processes as well. So check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, if you want to learn about Geo and how to rank inside AI search engines, right? Now we've got the churn risk calculator, as you can see, and it's broken down all the figures. We literally built this within a couple of minutes. You can see how it actually visualizes the data as well that we plug in. And then from here, we can change these and interact with it. So you see how the chart changes based on the information we plug in. This is super interactive and easy to use, right? So for example, here, we can plug this in, we're good to go. And then actually has a nice little quote at the bottom over here. And if we actually want to deploy this, we can deploy it over here. And then we can select a cloud project, for example, like this one. We can verify that project. And then once that's done, it will actually launch on a subdomain, as you can see over here, right? So if we click on deploy app, let's wait for that to load. Again, it's going to verify. And we have it inside the AI space. As you can see, we'll close that tab and that will deploy to cloud, right? Now, whilst we're waiting, let's go back to the deep research report. And you can see that it's now created a really in-depth report, like 19 pages, right? Super detailed report covering every single thing we needed to learn about that particular topic. And you can see how it's visualized data, for example. So the quick win prioritization. And then also, if we keep scrolling down here, it's covered pretty much everything that we wanted to do. And as we customize it, it's actually given us a 30-day implementable, actionable master plan on how to improve our churn rates, right? So you can see here how basically any sort of business constraint that you have, you can easily quickly build this stuff out and go from here step by step. Winning Reality says, did you know you can merge two tabs in Chrome now for a side-by-side view? Just click on the tab, you want to merge with the one that you're on. With a new Google Labs feature that I actually don't have access to, but you can do add tab to new split view as well, right? Which is pretty cool. Let's try this out. All right, so we've got side-by-side. Oh, this is cool. Thanks for the suggestion. So you can see that we've merged. This is really cool as well. Thank you very much for the suggestion. That's awesome. Shout out to Winning Reality. So you can see here, we've actually split two tabs into one so we can see them side by side. So we've got the deep research report over here. And then over here, we have the tool that we've created, right? Pretty nice. And then we can X off that and it will just go back to the normal view. Boom shakalaka, my friends. All right, we're learning stuff as we go along. Claude has extra features, right? Yeah, Claude is really good too. But today we are covering Gemini, so we're going to focus on that. And as you can see here as well, it's created some nice visualizations here. So you've got, for example, like the value of despair in SEO client retention, and it's created like a really nice report that shows you, okay, here's like the honeymoon period of an SEO agency, or when a client signs up to an SEO agency, and then this is how things compound over time. So if you had a constraint like this in the business, you could just say, okay, give me the 30-day plan, research everything on the internet about that particular topic, and then from there, we're good to go. Super simple and easy to implement. And just to recap, we have so far generated a deep research report, automated infographics, podcasts, mind maps, quizzes, flashcards, etc. with NotebookLM. We've exported that information to a deep research report inside Google Docs. And then also on AI Studio, we've built out a mini app that calculates our churn rates and how to improve it, right? Pretty simple and easy to do this stuff. So it's amazing what you can do with Google Gemini right now as well. If we go back to the new chat here, The other thing that I like to do is just edit images. So for example, let's say I'm preparing for a live stream. What we can do here is we can upload a file. So for example, I could upload a YouTube thumbnail that I want to use. Let me try and find one here. Here we go. So we've got a YouTube thumbnail here. And if we have a look at this image, you can see it says this, right? So there's actually a spelling error inside the thumbnail, right? So we can now go inside Gemini. We'll go on tools, create images, use Nano Banana, and we're using Gemini 3 as well in combination with that. And then we can say, okay, change to latest. And we can actually edit that thumbnail so that it generates a corrected version of the thumbnail. So, if you need to move faster, if you need to change something, or let's say, for example, I wanted to focus on creating a live stream about Gemini 3 instead of Notebook LM, I could actually just go inside the chat, describe exactly what I want, and edit the image right there. And then it will take a couple of minutes to generate that. As you can see, it will modify the text, pinpoint the error, refine the output, and then eventually we will get an image that looks something like this with the new spelling, right? The corrected, updated grammar. So you can see how easy it is to do all this stuff, how to edit images, how to create videos, how to create images, infographics, reports, mind maps, flashcards, mini apps, etc. And you can do this all inside Google's ecosystem. Amara says, amazing, happy to. Any updates on Veo 4? Not that I've seen so far, but I'm watching out carefully for that. I think it'll be exciting when it comes out. All right. So let me tell you the story behind this live stream. 3 weeks ago, I was sitting on my desk here and on my to-do list, content calendars, client work, community management, lead generation, video editing, podcast production, social media scheduling. And it's the same list that every solopreneur or business owner has. And it's the same overwhelm. Now, I've been using AI tools for months, like ChatGPT for writing, Claude for research, sometimes Midjourney for images, all separate, all disconnected. Every task required me to copy and paste between 5 different apps, remember 5 different prompts, manage 5 different subscriptions, and then Google drops Gemini 3 across a whole ecosystem and something clicks, all right? This isn't just a faster model. This is like the first time you can actually automate your entire content pipeline without switching apps, without coding, without hiring anyone. And I've spent hours testing everything. So Notebook LM for podcasts. You can use gems. So Google Gems inside Gemini 3 for creating like the alternatives to like custom GPTs, for example. You can use Veo 3 for video content, AI Studio for custom tools, all inside one ecosystem that you probably already use every single day, right? So most business owners are using Google Docs or Google Drive or even Google itself. And by day 3, I've pretty much automated many tasks that used to take me like 20 hours per week. And the emotional shift was wild, right? I literally went from I need to hire someone to do all this stuff to I just built this myself in a few clicks and a couple of prompts, like I've shown you today already. And that's why I'm breaking this down today, because I don't want to hype up Google, but really I just want to show you that this is the first complete automation system designed for non-technical business owners. And most of this stuff that I'm showing you is free today. So it's pretty amazing what you can do. Now, let me talk to you about the old way versus the new way, and also some ways you can actually use this. So again, we've got the video notes from today inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comments description if you want to get this stuff. But let's talk about some of the limiting beliefs that hold business owners back when it comes to using this technology. So one of the first things that people believe is I need to learn one AI tool really well. People say I need to master ChatGPT before I try anything else. So focus on one tool or go deep, not wide. But here's the truth they're missing. You're not actually going deep. You're just getting comfortable. And that's a big difference, right? So going deep with an AI tool means building complete systems that handle entire business processes. And getting comfortable means you know how to write good prompts, but you're still copying and pasting between apps all day. All waste of time, right? And the real problem here is it's depth. It's not depth. The real problem is ecosystem thinking versus tool thinking, right? So successful solopreneurs, they don't just master individual tools, they master connected systems. So Google's ecosystem lets you take research from Gemini, turn it into a podcast in Notebook LM, generate videos inside Veo 3, schedule all through Workspace, and then track everything in one place. And that's not like learning more tools. That's building one complete automation pipeline that replaces 3 people on your team. And so the simple rule that I recommend is stop thinking about individual AI tools and start thinking about complete business processes. And then find the ecosystem that handles the entire process without you jumping between apps, right? So when you pick an ecosystem, for example, it could be Microsoft, it could be Google, whatever you want. You learn it once, you automate everything. And when you pick individual tools, you learn forever and still manually have to connect all the pieces. So just pick one ecosystem, learn how the pieces connect, and then build complete workflows, not individual tasks. So for example, let's say I want to build out a content automation workflow, right? What I can do is I can go into Notebook, and let's say I need to create some content around, for example, let's say I need to create content around the new Google Disco update, right? I'm going to type in Google Disco here, right? We can just use fast research and we can use the web, right? So I can type in Google Disco update, like so, hit enter. and then it will start researching websites that I can custom train the AI into. And then from there, I've got my full content pipeline because I've got my audio, my video, my mind maps, my reports, flashcards, quizzes, infographics, and slide decks all in one single place. So you see how easy it is to do this stuff, right? So we can import those in, train the AI on the sources you want. If we don't want to use some of these sources, we can actually just remove them. So we can actually rename them as well. And then boom, and we just click on all of these and start generating stuff, right? Now, the other thing that a lot of people struggle with is that they think AI tools are too complicated for them. And the old broken belief was like, people would say, I'm not technical. These tools are for developers and tech people. I'll wait until it's easier. But here's what's actually happening. You're not technical, right? You're just scared of maybe looking silly or struggling to learn something new. And every successful person you admire probably felt the same way when they started. But I think the I'm not technical story is just fear wearing a different mask. And the new reality is that the real problem is not your technical ability. The real problem is your tolerance for feeling confused whilst building something new. And we've all been there. I've been there personally. And so Google Gemini's 3 ecosystem requires like zero coding, not like minimal coding or basic coding, literally zero. You just describe what you want, the system builds it. You can go into Notebook LM and you just click a button to generate that podcast, right? So if we go back to Notebook LM using that Google Disco information we've created, right? Literally to generate this mind map, we just clicked a button. That was it. It was super easy and simple. And then you can see that we're generating the video and audio view over here with one click. It wasn't technical at all. So that's it. If you can write an email, you can build with these tools. And the simple rule is technical skill is not the requirement. Clear communication is the requirement. If you can explain your business process to a human assistant, you can explain it to Google's AI. So I would stop saying I'm not technical and start saying I haven't learned this yet. And then just spend 30 minutes testing one tool. Because if I could do it, you can do it, and anyone could do it. All right. So we've got Google Gemini over here. I'm going to keep going from here. And then Jason says, have you ever set up changelog, roadmap, and style guide as part of the project? I don't mess around with that stuff. Again, I want to keep it like non-technical and as easy as possible, but you can if you want to. Like you can change anything you want to. If you're more technical, if you need more customization, you can just go into AI Studio or whatever tool you're using and start creating this stuff, right? And even, for example, for generating videos, like literally if you want to generate a video, for example, like this one, let's have a look at this video, right? Let's have a look at this image, right? I can copy this, can go into tools, to that, create videos, new chat, plug in the image that we just had before a second ago, this one. And then we can say, okay, create a video of this man talking about ChatGPT is over, right? Something like that. And then we can quickly generate a video all inside the same ecosystem as you can, right? And now it's generating the video, and that should just take a couple of minutes as well. Now, the other belief that a lot of people say is, and that's actually refused to make a video of me, but I think it's because we've got a thumbnail in there. That's okay. Sometimes these things break, and that's okay. I can show you how to fix them. So if we change to Layer 3 now, we'll say, okay, create a video of an SEO talking about how to do SEO whilst he sits at his laptop looking at charts. Something like that. And then we can start generating the video with Layer 3, right? As people back in the day, they used to say, you get what you pay for, the free version is limited, or you have to get the premium versions to get results. And I would say that's just corporate marketing, not reality. The real problem is not free versus paid. The real problem is knowing what the tools actually do versus believing marketing claims. Like Google's free tier of Gemini 3 handles more business automation than most solopreneurs will ever need. And Notebook LM is free. There are certain limits, but most people are not going to hit them. AI Studio is the same. You can use it for free. Gemini's free tier gives you massive context windows and multimodal capabilities. And so you're not really hitting tool limitations. Quite often people are hitting knowledge limitations. There's a big difference. So most people upgrade to paid plans before they even use like 10% of the free features, and they're buying more tools to avoid the learning of the ones they already have. And what I'd recommend is like you stop buying new subscriptions, master the free tools first, and then if you actually hit limitations, then you can move on to considering paid upgrades. All right, so we'll wait for that to load, and then you see how that works. Right now, let's talk about the old way versus the new way. Let's say, for example, with content creation, right? The old way was, for example, you'd write content in Google Docs, manually copy for ChatGPT, export to video editor, manually create videos, thumbnails, and upload and schedule all that separately, track everything in nasty spreadsheets, and it would take like 4 to 6 hours per piece of content, right? Whereas, for example, the new way is that you can write once in Gemini 3, you can generate the podcast audio in Notebook, you can create video content in Layer 3, you can generate images directly inside Gemini, and everything is connected inside Google's ecosystem. And like a complete content package, maybe you create 6 different pieces of content, it's going to take you like 30 to 45 minutes maximum. The same with client onboarding. You manually send welcome emails, copy paste questionnaires, schedule calls one by one, create custom proposals, send contracts separately, follow up manually. And that takes about 2 to 3 hours per client, right? That was the old way. The new way is like you can build an intake tool inside AI Studio. The client enters their information, system processes it with welcome emails, etc. You integrate that with calendar, and then everything is tracked in one place. And that takes about 10 minutes per client. So you can see how easy it is to switch to this new way and how much more powerful it is. Wait, so he's real? I thought he was an AI avatar. I was on a podcast yesterday and both people were like, are you real or is this the AI avatar of Julian? Zoo says, I really enjoy your content. Thank you so much. Really good to like positivity on the live stream as well. I appreciate you. And then Jason says, I'm using free Gemini to its max. And at some point you might want to upgrade, but you don't need to, right? And the live is always real. It's always a real deal on the live streams, all right? So you can see how easy it is to build this stuff, how it is to use. If you go back to Google Gemini now, we have the video here, as we can see. I'm just going to mute that, but you can see how we've got someone talking. This does have a voiceover. You've got the SEO charts on the laptop there. And how easy was that to generate a video? Like it's easier than ever. Now, the same with Gems, right? So inside Gems, you can build out like a custom trained automation that can create content whenever you need it, right? So if you go to new gem over here, we're going to accept that. And then inside here, we just explain what we want, right? So let's say, for example, we could create an app that takes a resume and job description, then provides a critique of the resume. Or we could analyze a meeting transcript and draft an email with the key takeaways. So let's click on that. And then we'll enter from here. We can start building out the app, right? This is way better than most custom GPTs like Build or Claude projects, for example, because if you look at the UI, it's not just building the automation, it's also building like the front end of it as well, right? So you can see here that we can just paste in a meeting transcript, right? And then we can use this custom automation step by step to create the meeting transcript, generate the email content, and then render the summary by email as well. Pretty simple and easy. Let me take an example from YouTube. You can consider this a meeting in some ways, right? Let's say, for example, we could take this interview I did with Nate Herc, copy the transcript. So grab that, go back to the gem that we have, paste that in, hit enter. And now it will start generating the email content based on the meeting transcript we created. And it's all linking within one single ecosystem. And now it's beginning to generate, as you can see. DJ says, honestly, I wasn't sure, but it's up to you because you stay on top of updates better than most people. Love the content, man. Honestly, that's what I actually asked some of my best members inside the AI Profit Board. Why have you stayed for 12 or 10 months since we launched? And they were all like, because you stay on top of everything as soon as it comes out. So as soon as there's a new live update, we create a video about it and we just stay on top of everything. So for example, if you check out my YouTube channel, like there were Gemma 4 rumors yesterday and kind of like a tease from Google, and we created a video about it within hours. The same, for example, with the Notebook LM updates that came out recently, DevTools, MCP, etc. Anything that comes out, we try and cover it as soon as possible on our channel. So you see here, we've got the meeting breakdown, right? Based on that. And then we've got that good to go, right? And then we can share that with people. Super easy. It's got the action items separated right here, key takeaways from the meeting and everything else, right? And it's written the email like you can see, right? So you can see how simple and easy this is to start generating email automations or meeting automations, whatever you want, right? DJ says it was easy to believe you're AI because you are so quick. Yeah, I mean, I do these live streams every day, so I think I've got pretty good at them at this point, but I'm sure I can get a little better too. Amara says, very informative. Thanks for sharing. Happy to help. Thank you so much. And Jason Legend says, Julian is the trailblazer. He's helped me so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, so that's basically it. I've shown you exactly how to use and build apps inside AI Studio, all sorts of types of content inside Notebook, how to edit, create images, and generate videos in Gemini, and also how to, for example, automate inside Gems as well. So this is Gems, which is the app builder, which basically automates different processes for you based on what you type in, right? We've got like an SEO content, right? It's all here as well. And this is custom trained to be able to create content for me, right? And if we click on edit over here, we can actually edit the custom instructions for this particular tool, describe it, attach knowledge. So we can actually attach like personalized files that create better outputs for us based on what we want. And just from here, we're good to go. All right. Thanks for the informative sharing. Can Google AI Studio Vibes build a full stack web phone app? So if you want to build a phone app, you would use Google's ecosystem again, but you can use Firebase for that. I actually have a lot of training inside the AI Profit Boarding for that. So if you type in Firebase at the top here, and then you can see that we have a bunch of training on how to build apps with Firebase, which is another tool from Google. And you can build apps for free inside there as well. And then if you want to build full stack inside AI Studio, you can just attach something like Superbase to whatever you build, and then it can create the back end and front end. But just be careful with security and all that sort of thing, right? You want to be careful when you build stuff out like that. If you're trying to attach a back end that's collecting people's data. So always do your research on that. But yeah, you can see exactly how it is. DJ says, after watching your videos, I built a pretty simple but fun Unity app using step-by-step instructions and troubleshooting with Gemini. Shout out to you for taking action. That is absolutely awesome. But yeah, that's what we've covered. Now, if you want to get the 30-day implementation roadmap, you can get that inside the AI Success Lab, completely free. It shows you week 1 foundation, how to set up your core systems. You can see it's got the action items here. So like day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. If you want to go off and implement this stuff, we also got week 2, which is automation and building your first complete workflows. Then from here, we have week 3, which is optimization, so refining and connecting everything. And then week 4, which is scaling, so building your entire business system. So content, client, business dashboards, training documentations, backup systems, team training preps, advanced prompt libraries, integration testing, right? And also future planning too. So I've also given you a bunch of examples of what you can actually build and how much time it would save you by doing this. So for example, how to go from 6 to 8 hours on content to doing this all inside 45 minutes, plus where to use it and how to use it. So you see some examples right there. And then also, I just want to talk you through like how you can get results with this and who's winning with this. So if you check out the AI Profit Boardroom, a lot of people say, Julian, it's great for you that you're getting that stuff, but what about everyone else? You can see that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, people are winning and learning with this stuff all the time, right? People are just growing and improving. So for example, like Brianna was struggling with focus, right? And we all struggle with this when it comes to AI because there's new AI tools and new AI updates coming out every single day. Brianna, who joined the AI Profit Boardroom, she was like, thanks to the focus protocol, which is something we have inside the AI Profit Boardroom, that just helps you stay as focused as possible, right? Then, for example, we've got other stuff as well inside here. So let's have a look at some other wins. So for example, Vladimir published 10 Kindle books and 10 more titles to Gumroad. Shout out to Vladimir for taking action. I always see Vladimir's wins and I'm like, this guy is just on a different level. He's always publishing and creating awesome stuff. And you can see I personally respond to people as well inside the AI Profit Boardroom too. You can see Razan made their first funny AI video. It started using Google Flow and Whisk recently to create a 63-second clip and actually shares it as well. And then you can see, for example, Christina, 7 days ago, created her first YouTube short and she's already getting close to 1,000 views. So like people are winning with this stuff as well. You can implement it, but this isn't just me. These are like real business owners building actual automation systems that actually help them. And we actually got over 106 pages of testimonials for the AI Profit Boardroom, as you can see here. So like all of these people winning and getting results, like you can see, which is just awesome. That's what we like. So my main point here is these are people exactly where you are right now. They were overwhelmed. They were using basic AI tools. They were not sure exactly how to automate their business. And they learned the exact systems that I'm showing you today. They built their own automations. Now they have more time, clients, and less stress. Right? Now, what I recommend right now in terms of action steps and homework is open up Gemini, start a conversation about one repetitive task that you do constantly, ask Gemini to help you automate it, and then take what it gives you and test it out today. All right. And then this week, set up a notebook LM with one piece of content, create your first gem with a common task, explore AI Studio templates, test Video 3 with a simple video prompt, and connect Gemini to your workspace. And then this month, just follow the 30-day roadmap that I gave, right? One day at a time. And another good piece of advice here is don't skip ahead, right? Don't try to do everything at once. Just build it systematically. And then post your progress inside the AI Profit Boardroom, inside the win section here to get help and just share what you're building, ask questions, get feedback, see what other people are automating too, because the community has literally thousands of business owners doing exactly what you're about to do. And you're not figuring this out alone. All right. So that's basically it. All right. Now, Google has handed you a complete business automation system for free. Most people ignore it. They'll just keep paying for disconnected tools. They'll keep copying and pasting between apps. They'll keep working crazy out 50-hour work weeks, wondering why they can't scale. But you're different. You showed up on this live stream or this video. You've read this file. You're actually willing to learn. And the gap between knowing these tools exist and actually using them to automate your business, that's where the opportunity lives. Not in having these secret prompts, not in paying for expensive courses, in actually building the systems this week instead of next month, right? So start today, pick one tool, automate one task, see the result, and then do it again tomorrow. And that's how you build a one-person business that competes with teams of like over 10 people, all right? And these tools are ready. The system's working. The only question is whether you actually use it. So we've got some questions here. Leave your questions in the chat and I'll answer them after the end. But I want to talk you through what you get inside the AI Profit Boardroom, right? So first of all, you get the daily AI coaching calls. I'm live inside the community all the time, and you can just jump on camera inside the coaching calls as well. So if you go inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, go to the calendar, you can see all the coaching calls. We actually have 4 a week where you can just jump on live. It's myself and my team. So for example, we also have a PhD trained specialist in AI, Dr. Jeff. On those calls, you can get daily coaching support whilst you're building everything. All right. So most people give up at this point. They just go back to basic use and their dream of automation just stops. But if you had daily coaching support whilst building everything, would that help you? Absolutely, I think. And that's what you get inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, right? You have two clear choices. You can take what you've learned today and try and figure it out alone, spend weeks testing, hit roadblocks, wonder if you're doing it right, maybe succeed eventually, maybe give up when it gets hard. Or choice number two is that you can join the AI Profit Boardroom right now. You can get a 30% discount. You can get into the mastermind, start building today on the daily coaching calls. And the difference is speed and certainty. Okay. Like alone, you might figure this out in 6 months. With daily coaching, proven templates, active community support, you're building working systems this single week, right? We've actually got a challenge on right now for newcomers and everyone inside the boardroom to build your first AI automation and get your first win within the next 7 days. And you can see 17 people have already joined the challenge. So if you want to join in with us, visit the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description, and you get immediate access to the AI Profit Boardroom training library with every Google ecosystem implementation, all my best tools and templates from today's live stream, tons of other systems, so community growth mastermind, and everything else, all right? Now, also what you get inside there is like the community growth playbook. So you'll see how I've scaled a school community. If you actually type in school here, you get all the training for that inside the classroom, as you can see. So all these different trainings are like how to scale your community. And this playbook is exactly how I've built the community out to 1,800 people school. You also get the Facebook domination system, and it will show you how to automate content creation with Google's AI and then distribute it across Facebook and Facebook ads and Facebook groups and everything else. You get the AI avatar engine. And the AI avatar engine is something that saves me 4 hours a day. And it shows you how to create professional AI avatar videos for content, outreach, and everything else, right? So if you type in avatar here, you'll learn how to create AI avatar videos with this video tutorial and the step-by-step procedure. And all the information inside the classroom is unique and exclusive, right? So you won't find it anywhere else. And you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. Now, let's see what questions we got here. DJ says, we already answered that. Please share some information about Gemini CLI. So that kind of goes outside the scope, but if you type in the AI Profit Boardroom, Gemini CLI, you'll see all these different video tutorials, including one recently updated from just a couple of weeks ago, right? So if you want to get the latest information on how to use this with action plans and step-by-step procedures, you can get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom here. And you can see we actually date and update the new updates inside here, right? So if you want to learn, for example, the newest stuff that's just come out, you can see even for the 13th of December, we've added all this new information here. So it's all dated, it's all easy to go through as everything else, right? DJ says, I think it was your video that had said I could share my Gemini Pro. Do you know if it shows on your account that you have Pro? I think you just check in your settings so you can see if you're on the Pro or the normal plan. And then CTPT says, I've got 8 books ready to launch into Amazon KDP. I'm just trying to figure out how to do the covers correctly. So you can actually use Nano Banana for doing that. We actually, if you like ebooks, we actually have a one-click ebook generator with N8N, as you can see. And that shows you a full workflow on exactly how to go from like idea to generating a full notebook, launching it on Google Docs, and then creating like ebooks in one click. And actually have a video tutorial that walks you through it as well. All right, Amara says, got it. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Google Anti-Gravity, Gemini 3.0 plus free Opus 4.5 is insane. Today I'm going to show you how Google Gemini 3.0 just changed the game with their new anti-gravity feature, and Claude Opus 4.5 is now completely free. These are the two most powerful AI tools right now, and they just got massive upgrades. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these tools can do and how to use them. Google just dropped Gemini 3.0. This is their newest AI model, and it's got something they're calling anti-gravity. Now, before you think this is about physics or floating objects, let me tell you what it actually does. It's a complete overhaul of how Gemini processes and generates images. The speed is insane, the quality is better, and it can handle way more complex prompts than before. I'm talking about prompts that are 500 words long, detailed descriptions, multiple objects, specific lighting, exact colors. Before, if you gave Gemini a super long prompt, it would get confused, it would miss details, it would forget parts of what you asked for. Now with Gemini 3.0, you can throw everything at it, and it handles it perfectly. Here's what changed under the hood. Google rebuilt the entire image processing system. They call it anti-gravity because it lifts the weight off the model. Think about it like this. Old Gemini was carrying a backpack full of rocks while trying to create images. New Gemini dropped the backpack. It's faster, it's cleaner, it processes your requests without slowing down. The quality jump is massive too. Images look more realistic, colors are more accurate, lighting is better, shadows make sense. Before, you'd get weird artifacts in your images, random blobs, distorted faces, hands with 6 fingers. Gemini 3.0 fixed most of that, not all of it. The speed improvement is wild. Old Gemini took about 30 seconds to generate an image, sometimes longer if your prompt was complex. Gemini 3.0 does it in under 10 seconds. That's 3 times faster. You can iterate way quicker now. Try one idea, don't like it, try another. You're not sitting around waiting anymore. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business with AI tools. The link is in the comments and description. It's at school.com/AI Profit Lab. Now, let's talk about Claude Opus 4.5. This just went free, completely free, no catch. Anthropic decided to make their most powerful model available to everyone. This is huge. Opus 4.5 is their smartest model. Better than Sonnet, better than Haiku, and now you don't have to pay for it. What can Opus 4.5 do? Everything: writing, coding, analysis, problem solving. It's got a massive context window. That means it can remember way more information in a conversation. You can feed it entire documents, whole code bases, long research papers, and it keeps track of everything. The writing quality on Opus 4.5 is insane. It doesn't sound like AI anymore. It sounds human, natural, conversational. You can ask it to write in any style: formal, casual, technical, creative, and it nails it every time. Before, you'd read AI writing and think, yeah, that's obviously AI. With Opus 4.5, people can't tell the difference. Coding got a massive upgrade too. Opus 4.5 can write entire applications, not just snippets, full programs. It understands complex logic. It can debug your code. It can explain what's wrong and fix it. I've seen people build entire web apps with just Opus 4.5. No other tools needed. Here's the thing that makes Opus 4.5 different from other AI models. It actually thinks through problems. Most AI just spits out answers fast. Opus 4.5 takes its time. It breaks down the problem. It considers different approaches. It gives you the best solution, not just the first solution. The analysis capabilities are next level. You can feed it data, spreadsheets, reports, research papers, and it finds patterns you'd miss. It connects dots. It gives you insights that would take hours to figure out manually. I'm talking about deep analysis here, not surface level stuff. Now, let me tell you why having both of these tools is powerful. Gemini 3.0 is your image powerhouse. Opus 4.5 is your text and logic powerhouse. Together, they cover everything. Need to create visual content? Use Gemini. Need to write something complex or solve a problem? Use Opus. Need both? Use both. Here's a real world example. Say you're creating content for a website. You need images, you need text, you need everything to match. Before, you'd use one AI for images, another for text. They wouldn't match. The style would be off. The tone would be different. Now you can use Gemini 3.0 for all your images, same style, same quality. Then use Opus 4.5 for all your text. Everything flows together. The fact that Opus 4.5 is free changes everything. Before, you had to pay monthly. Now anyone can use it. Students, creators, small teams, everyone gets access to the best AI writing and coding tool available. That's massive. Let me talk about the technical side for a second. Gemini 3.0 runs on Google's TPU v5 chips. These are custom built for AI workloads, way faster than regular GPUs. That's part of why the speed improved so much. Google optimized everything from the ground up. Opus 4.5 uses a different architecture. Anthropic built it to be safer and more aligned. That means it's less likely to make things up. It's more accurate. It follows instructions better. And it refuses fewer requests because it actually understands context better. Both tools have been trained on massive data sets. We're talking about trillions of parameters. Gemini 3.0 was trained on images, text, video, and audio. It's truly multimodal. Opus 4.5 focuses on text and code, but goes way deeper, quality over quantity. Here's what you need to know about using Gemini 3.0 effectively. Be specific with your prompts. The more detail you give, the better your output will be. Use the anti-gravity feature to your advantage. This means you can ask for complex scenes, multiple objects, different angles, specific perspectives. Don't hold back. Push the limits. See what it can do. For Opus 4.5, structure matters. When you ask it to do something complex, break it down, give it steps, say, first analyze this, then do that, then conclude with this. It follows instructions perfectly when you're clear. Use the long context window. Don't try to cram everything into short prompts. Give it all the information it needs. Background, context, examples. The more you feed it, the better it performs. Let's talk about what makes these updates different from previous releases. Most AI updates are incremental, slightly better, slightly faster. These updates are transformational. Gemini 3.0 isn't just a bit better than Gemini 2.0. It's a completely different beast. The anti-gravity system is a fundamental redesign. Same with Opus 4.5 going free. This isn't just a price change. It's a strategic move that opens up the most powerful AI model to millions of people who couldn't afford it before. That's going to accelerate AI adoption like crazy. The competition between AI companies is heating up. Google wants to dominate image generation. Anthropic wants to be the go-to for writing and coding. OpenAI is somewhere in the middle trying to do everything. This competition is good for us. It means faster updates, better features, lower prices. Here's something most people don't realize. These AI models get better every single day. They don't just update once every few months. The training continues. The fine-tuning continues every time you use them. You're using a slightly better version than yesterday. That's wild. Gemini 3.0 learns from every image it generates. If something doesn't look right, the feedback goes back into the system. Next time it creates something similar, it's better. This continuous improvement is built into the core system. Opus 4.5 does the same thing with text and code. Every conversation makes it smarter. Every correction teaches it something new. This isn't static technology, it's living technology that evolves. Let me address something important. Some people worry about AI replacing jobs. That's not what's happening here. These tools amplify what you can do. They don't replace you. Think about it. Before calculators, people did math by hand. Calculators didn't replace mathematicians. They made math faster and more accessible. Same thing here. Gemini 3.0 doesn't replace designers. It lets designers work faster and try more ideas. Opus 4.5 doesn't replace writers. It lets writers focus on the creative parts while handling the repetitive stuff. People who win with AI are the ones who learn how to use it effectively. That's why understanding these tools matters, not just knowing they exist, actually knowing how to use them. Now, if you want to dive even deeper into AI automation, I've got something special for you. I run a community called the AI Profit Boardroom, the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Learn how to save time and automate your business. The link is in the comments and description. It's at school.com/AI Profit Lab. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100+A, I use cases like this one. Join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. Google just dropped a massive wave of updates this week, and I'm going to be breaking down every single one of them for you live. We're talking about, for example, GenTabs, a brand new tool that has been created by Gemini that lets you remix your open browser tabs and create custom web apps using Gemini 3. We also have Pomeli Animate, turns your content into on-brand animations powered by 3.1 Veo. We also have Mixboard upgrades, including presentations, new file types, and multi-board projects. Doppel fashion updates you can try on looks with a personalized discovery feed. Jules AI agent, which now surfaces tasks and automates fixes before you even ask. Deep Research API, which is Google's most advanced research capabilities, now available for developers and family sharing. So you can actually share your accounts. Plus, you've got Google Disco, which is a place to test and discover the next AI features for the web. So there's loads of new updates from Google. They're absolutely leading the race when it comes to AI, and we're breaking down a few of them today. If anyone has any questions, as you go along, feel free to ask. If you want to get the video notes from today, feel free to get it. Link inside the comments description. This is free inside the AI Success Lab. You get a free community with 38,000 people. And if you go to the classroom over here, and then you're going to go to new AI automations, you can see that we have the links to everything broken down beautifully. So let's start with some of these, and we'll break down exactly which one, what everything means, how to use them, etc., all the announcements. So you can see, for example, this is a new announcement from Google on Disco and GenTabs. Essentially, you can join the waitlist for it now. It's a new discovery vehicle from Google Labs to test ideas for the future of the web. What does that even mean, my friends? All right, I'm glad you asked. So we're going to play this video and we'll have a little cheeky look at Google Disco. So basically, it's using GenTabs. It looks a little bit like GenSpark, to be honest, when you have a look at it. And you can generate tabs and little web apps based on your open examples, right? So you can open up a GenTab here, as you can see. Play this, you can create your own web apps between whatever you're looking at. Basically, it will just turn the open tabs that you have into like web apps, as you can see, right? Pretty crazy stuff. That is essentially the future of the internet. And you can see here, they've said the Google Disco with the web, it's a vast collection of applications and information, making it an incredible machine for discovery and learning. Yet, as our online tasks have grown more complex, we all felt the frustration of juggling dozens of open tabs. You all know what it feels like to have open tab anxiety, I believe. And we believe the web itself has the opportunity to adapt to this complexity, right? Which is Google Disco. So you can basically navigate through your tasks. You can remix different things. Let's have a look at this one. So you can turn your tab into a custom app. So it says, I'm taking a road trip from Boston to Burlington next month. We want to go sledding and do other wintry things. Can you help me plan? And then you hit plan. And from here, you just wait for it to load. And then you can actually turn this into a web app, as you can see, right? Basically like an animated version of Google search, much more interesting. You can see it comes up with a bunch of ideas right here, and then it looks through the tabs, as you can see. It looks really cool. And you can use this to build apps like this. So someone's actually started searching about the solar system. So they've got tabs open about explore solar system scope and eyes on the universe. And then Google Disco is actually remix that into an app, right? Using the information from the tabs. So it just makes everything way more interactive. You can sign up for the waiting list, I believe. So you can join the waiting list at labs.google/disco and then join the wait list over here, as you can see, right? You just put in your details, as you can see, get used to it. Honestly, if it was me, I'd probably just copy and paste that into ChatGPT and then copy and paste that into the app. But it looks really cool. And yeah, absolutely amazing update right there. So we're going to run through the rest. But here's what I would say. Google have just released like a dozen updates all at once. GenTabs, Pomeli, Animate, Mixboard, Doppel, Jules, Disco, Deep Research, API. The list keeps going. And I felt this kind of wave of panic hit me because essentially, you know that feeling when you're trying to keep up with the AI and it feels like you're drinking from a fire hose. I've been teaching AI for years now. I've helped literally thousands of people inside the AI Profit Boarding learn this stuff. And even I felt overwhelmed for a second. And then I took a deep breath, made some tea, and did what I always do, which is I went through every update one by one, tested them, checked them out, researched them, broke them, figured out what actually works. And here's what I've realized is like these updates aren't random. They all connect together like puzzle pieces. GenTabs, for example, and Google Disco, they let you build custom apps from your browser tabs. But Pomeli, for example, will turn your content into animations. Mixboard creates presentations. Jules automates your coding tasks. And when you put them all together, you basically got an entire content and automation system that runs itself. And that's what I'm showing you today. All right. So we're going to keep running through and we'll take a look at some of these other ones. Let's take a look what else we've got here. So the next one that's on the list is Pomeli. So Pomeli, if you're not familiar with it, I've actually covered a few videos on it and tested out live. Let's take a look here. So you can see here, it says create on-brand marketing content for your business with Pomeli. And then you can see the examples of how it works right here. And we actually got this video that breaks down exactly how it works step by step. But essentially, if we pull this up, you can see how it works. So you can kind of like animate different parts of your tools and that sort of thing, right? So if you want to go and use Pomeli, just go to labs.google.com/Pomeli/about. Then you can go to get started and you can get access right there if you're in the right country. So if you're in the right region. Now, if you've never used this before, I do have some videos on it and show you exactly how it works. That is looking crazy on the replay, so I'm going to close that down. But essentially, you can see how it works step by step here. All right. So essentially, it was great for creating visuals before, but now what you can do is you can actually animate anything with it. So like product shots, text layouts, infographics, brand scenes, social posts. And the reason this matters is like you don't need to manually edit anything. You got no crazy rendering chaos. And also it's going to help you scale and move faster. So I would recommend this. If you are a creator, an agency, a brand, an educator, then Pomeli is going to be super powerful as well. The other one that I've not even mentioned on the list and has had some big updates is Notebook LM as well. I've actually just created a brand new training on Notebook LM if you want to check it out. JJ says, watching from the Philippines, bro. Good to see you here. Thanks for joining, sir. And if you want to check out Notebook LM, you can see an example right here. Actually, this morning I used a deep research API to just come up with a bunch of sources and then create like a custom automation that knows everything that's out there on the web about creating a school community, right? And so it's just an example of how you can use it. And so you can create these like custom trained automation, and then you can generate, for example, like an infographic based on the information you trade on, right? For example, What you can do here is you can select deep research, then you can say what you want to research. So for example, let's say school churn rates or how to improve school churn rates, right? Basically community churn rates. You can plug that into the automation here, and then you can automatically find sources across the web that will help you train up the automation in the middle so that you can create infographics or slide decks and that sort of thing. If you're on the Ultra plan right now, this isn't free, but if you get it inside the Ultra plan, you can actually, for example, automate slide decks, infographics, flashcards, etc. And you can automate them without the watermark. Now, you can still use this for free if you want, but you're just going to have a watermark on the things that you create. But if you want to use it with Ultra, then you'll actually be able to remove the watermarks as well. All right. So some people say I need to be technical to use these new tools. My belief is that Google built these tools for normal people who just want results, right? And here's the thing, like Google didn't build Gen tabs for developers. They built it for people who just want to remix their browser tabs into useful apps without writing code. You literally describe what you want in plain English and that's it. And Thomas Edison, the guy who invented the light bulb, failed over 1,000 times before he got it right. You know what he said? I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. And Edison wasn't a scientist. He was a tinkerer. He tried stuff until it worked. And that's exactly how these new tools work, right? So if you're using these new AI updates from Google, you try things, you describe what you want, the AI figures out the technical stuff. And the old way required you to learn coding, hire developers, watch 47 tutorials before you could build anything. The new way, you just talk to it like a friend, right? So if we go inside here, I'm like, okay, how can I improve my AI profit boardroom community churn rates? It's going to use the sources that we've plugged in on the left-hand side to start creating that, as you can see. Now, whilst we're waiting for the outputs from that, we've actually got the infographic here, which we'll check in a second, the flashcards as well, and the slide deck. But some other people are going to say, there's too many updates, I just can't keep up. And here's the thing that I would say is you only need to master 3 to 4 tools that actually matter for your business. So, Bruce Lee said something that changed how I think about this forever. He said, I fear not the man who has practiced 10,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times. You don't need to master every single Google update. You just need to master the ones that actually move the needle for your specific business. And if you're creating content, focus on Pomeli and Mixboard. If you're doing research, focus on Deep Research API or use Notebook Alert. If you're building automations, focus on Jules. Pick your 3 to 4 tools, go deep and just ignore the rest. That's what I'd recommend. So if we have a look here, we've got the infographic, as you can see. So it's talking about the leaky bucket, the monthly churn rate benchmarks, which I know are correct because I've been researching that recently. You can see here some of the immediate wins and how to improve the communities. And it's pretty amazing what you can do with this stuff, right? And so that's just created a beautiful infographic that breaks down the 80-20 of what we need to learn. And we did it in just one click and a bunch of deep research, right? We just click research that. Okay, click that. Boom. We've got a beautiful infographic that's ready to go. So it's pretty awesome, some of this stuff, right? The next one is Nano Banana in Mixboard, right? So you can now create presentations based on your boards powered by Banana Pro, our latest Gemini image model. So for example here, and by the way, if you're not using Nano Banana Pro, you got to check it out. It's by far the best AI update and it's the easiest to use. One thing that used to put me off Midjourney is it was annoying to use. This is just like the simplest, easiest way to use everything, right? So you can see here how simple it is to use this stuff. You just go in, click it, etc. Right? So if you want to get access, you just go to labs.google.com/mixboard/welcome. And then depending on where you are, you can get access to this stuff. Chris Dan says, Notebook LM is great. Let's hope Google will offer more tiers than only Pro and Ultra, so I don't have to pay $250 to use 600 courses per notebook. We'll be willing. Yeah, like it's not for everyone, right? I think the main thing with that is like, if you're a business, it probably makes sense. If you're not a business, probably doesn't make sense, right? And that's the way that I would look at it. It's like, okay, it depends what you're getting out of it. What's the leverage that you're getting out of this stuff? So Mixboard, you can see here, is powered by Nano Banana. As you can see, so you can create a new project. Let's have a look at this. Kind of looks a little bit like a Miro board. So it's loading an example board here. I don't think anyone's even talked about Google Mixboard, but it's pretty cool what you can do with it. Let's try this out. So you can see here, we've got a Mixboard based on this. So we asked for like cozy full living room party ideas. And then it's giving us a bunch of ideas, as you can see, right? Now you can actually drag this across so you can zoom out, move it around, etc. And then you can get full decoration inspiration, ask Mixboard for variations, ask it to change things, reimagine your living room, right? Pretty amazing. And it's all doing that. It's all powered through something called Nano Banana. which is their latest update. Now, some people are also going to say, I'm already behind. Everyone else has figured this stuff out, but these tools are brand new. We're all starting from zero. So listen to me carefully. Like GenTabs launched this week. Pomeli Animate launched this week. The Deep Research API launched this week. Nobody has years of experience with these tools because they didn't exist until a few days ago. Muhammad Ali, he didn't become the greatest boxer because he started earlier than everyone else. He became the greatest because he trained smarter and believed himself when nobody else did. And he said, I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was, right? And right now, today, you have the exact same starting point as everyone else on the planet. The question is, what are you going to do with that? So when you're using these tools, like, just test them out, see what you think, right? You can see how simple and easy it is to do and how to get ideas and how to refine your ideas and that sort of thing, right? So here's another one. This is birds with googly eyes. By the way, if you actually want like business use cases for stuff like this, check out the AI Profit Boardroom, link in the comments description. This is my personal community where I basically have built a community of winners, serious AI builders, and you can see that inside the community here, you can connect with 1,800 serious builders in AI. You can also go into the classroom and get all of my best playbooks, trainings, and systems for growing with AI. For example, if you want to know how I get so many leads, customers, and sales with AI, all of my best systems are inside this section right here, the AI playbook. And then also inside the calendar, we do 4 coaching calls a week. So you can jump on with a PhD scientist, ask any questions you have, get help and support if you need it. And that's all inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments and the description, my friends. All right, so if you go back to Notebook, it's a mixed board here. You can see some examples. So birds with googly eyes, and then this is pretty cool. Like, are these real? Or are these like, I don't know, but I'm loving it. And so let's go back here and we'll try a new project. Can also turn it into a presentation. Let's have a look here. So we can explore some ideas. We can make something fun, plan a party, imagine new ideas. Interesting. So you can add like different elements and then create new stuff. Make something fun. All right. I don't know if you can actually, what would I do with this? Let's just say, okay, playing guitars, something like that. Right. And we'll create something like that. And we'll see how that goes. The eagle is not real. Julian, a client friend, asked me how to use Gemini for job search. The best I could offer with third-party headhunters. Yeah, so the way that I would do it, if I was using Gemini for job searches, yeah, I'd just go in, right, and I'd be like, okay, let's say I'm an SEO. I'm an SEO expert looking for a full-time role remotely. Find me some job posts from the last week, something like that, right? And then we can go into Gemini and just go directly inside here, and it'll actually search job boards for you. So you can see here, it's actually looking through job boards, exploring LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, etc., and finding remote work for you, right? And then it's made a bunch of opportunities, found some ideas. It's tailored it to me and who I am. Obviously, I run an SEO agency, so I'm not looking for this, but this is what I would do in this situation. You got a bunch of different jobs that have just popped up, as you can see. And then we can say, okay, now give me the links. If you wanted to fill out the applications themselves, you just copy the job information into Gemini, say, fill this out, personalized to me, and then you can actually like automate answering the job board and the job application itself, which is probably the most useful part. So that's how I would handle it. You see how easy that was. But yeah, so we've covered a bunch of cool stuff right there inside all of these Gemini updates. Here's what I would say is the old way versus the new way, right? So here's how things used to work compared to how they work now. So for example, with content creation, the old way was like spending hours writing scripts, filming, editing, and creating graphics manually. The new way is you can use Pomeli to generate on-brand and animate it automatically with AI 3.1. By the way, if you want the notes from today, just get it inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comment description. It's completely free. Research, the old way, you open like 47 tabs to get lost in rabbit holes, you forget what you're even looking for. The new way is you use the Deep Research API or GenTabs to automatically synthesize information from multiple sources. Let's just have a look at this. I want to pull this up, this new API from Google. I don't know if it's going to be available on OpenRouter as well. Let's have a look here. If we type in Deep Research, it doesn't seem to be available inside OpenRouter. Let's have a look inside AI Studio. So if we go home, where to build, we'll select the model, type, see if we can find it. So you can code it with JavaScript and then Python, and you just use the Google search and URL context tool, but you would use this Python to start using it and steering it and everything else. So I think it's more for developers. That honestly, it looks a little bit more technical, but that's basically how you can use it. Yeah, the same with like building tools, right? The old way was like hiring a developer, you wait weeks, you hope it works. The new way is like you use something like Gen tabs to remix your browser tabs into custom apps instantly, or you can just go into AI Studio and build something that way. With task management, the old way was like manually review everything, catch problems after they happen. The new way is like Jules surfaces tasks and automates fixes before you even have to ask. And for presentations, like the old way was spending hours in PowerPoint, dragging boxes around. The new way is Mixboard can actually create presentations automatically, multiple file types and multiple board projects, or you can use Notebook-LM for that too. So that's basically it. Now, what I've also done is created a 30-day blueprint to automating your business with Google's new AI tools. And basically, this is a step-by-step way that you can start using all of these tools, as you can see, and implementing and learning them. So a lot of people feel like they're behind or they don't know how to use them. You can just follow this 30-day action plan, and then you're good to go. And you can master this stuff. We're also giving you a bunch of prompts inside here as well. And yeah, that's basically it. The other thing that I would say is, if you're wondering, okay, people actually winning with this stuff, what I can do at this point is just show you some real proof. These are real solopreneurs just like you who've learned the systems and implemented them. So if you go inside the AI Profit Boardroom here, you can see all of these people just winning with this stuff here. For example, Stephen just posted 7 minutes ago. Going to give that a shout out to Stephen. Said he'd never heard of NA10, and he came to this community and started to have his mind expanded massively. In the last couple of weeks, he's developed a workflow that will save his business 3 to 4 hours per week, which is huge. And that's 10% of his time freed up. Imagine if you got 10% of your time back, right? How amazing is that? So that's Stephen. He literally just posted that 7 minutes ago. I'm going to say, well done. Well done. This is amazing. Shout out to Stephen. This is inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And then you see here, the next flow he developed was uploading videos he had made in Pictory and adding the title and description authored by Gemini, and then adding 2 links to his website in the description, rotating those and uploading everything to YouTube, right? So you can see all this crazy stuff, right? And he said, so a big shout out to training and information in the AI Profit Boardroom. It's been a steep learning curve, but a very satisfying learning curve, and displaying the same that you cannot teach an old dog new tricks. And he said, this is interesting as well. So we were talking about Gemini today. One of the things that really did help was Julian Goldie posts on the updated Deep Think version of Gemini. It helped me with some challenges I was having with NA10 workflows that Kimi, ChatGPT, and even GenSpark were not cutting the mustard with. Another project that I've started to do a little bit of work on is ranking rent websites. And I punched in some preliminary ideas into Gemini Deep Think research for this model. And now pops a very detailed 15-page report. Right, boom. That's pretty awesome. And he said, so thank you, one and all who contribute to this community. It has been awesome. Shout out. That couldn't have been better timing. I didn't plan that, but Stephen, shout out to you. That is absolutely amazing. You can see here, what else we got? Steve Light made an app with his website that lets you generate random art images from museum APIs. Pretty cool. You got David Nielsen, who just launched a new SEO tool on Product Hunt, and he created it with Google Anti-Gravity after one of my videos, right? So you can see here, like, people are creating full SaaS tools with this stuff, using Google Gemini and a combination of anti-gravity as well, and then coding their own tools and releasing them on Product Hunt. Like, it's pretty crazy. That is absolutely insane. Yeah, stuff like this, just like, it makes my day. I love seeing people win. But you can see all these testimonials here. And if you're wondering, okay, are these the only testimonials Julian Goldie has about the AI Profit Boardroom? If you actually go inside this document here, you can see that we have over 103 pages of testimonials from people winning just like this, right? I've never built a community that's had such an amazing response. Like, all these testimonials here, all the people winning. Mulo, hey Julian, so happy I joined the AI Profit Boardroom. Darren, wow man, that's so exciting, and it's a credit to you and all of your wonderful training support. Paris, I wake up and see what gold you drop into my AI stack the very next morning. What else we got? Steve Light, smashing it. Justin, hey Jen, avatar is amazing. Like, these testimonials, there's 103 pages of this stuff inside the AI Profit Boardroom. But it's not just me that's winning with AI. Like, loads of people are absolutely crushing with this stuff. And if you want to be part of that, just join the AI Profit Boardroom, right? It's absolutely amazing what we got here. What else we got inside the comments? Maybe an off-topic question, but is there a way to make an app, a notebook, LM notebook? Yeah, so you can actually use if you want to make an app, you just start using the API instead. So you can go into here. I think there's something like Notebook LM API. I remember seeing it a while back. Yeah, so you can use it with the enterprise version. They did have something else a while back as well. I want to see this. Let me have a look inside Google AI Studio. Bear in mind, like all the same functionality as well from NotebookLM, you get inside the build section. So if you want to automate presentations, you can. If you want to automate podcasts, you can, right? Videos, etc. You can do all that inside AI Studio. So in some ways, you don't even need NotebookLM API if you can't find it. And Supporter says, used AI Studio, Windsurf, Netlify, all learned from you. I have a ton of new tools due to you. Thank you very much, sir. I'm also an AI Profit Boarding member. I can confirm that it's a great place. Thanks for referring to the API. Happy to help. And thanks so much for joining today, Supporter. So that's pretty much it for me. I've shown you proof of this work. I've given you action. I would recommend posting inside the AI Profit Boarding community. That's your homework today is join the AI Profit Boarding. Tell us what Google tools you're using. What's one thing you're going to automate this week? What belief did we help you break today? And I read every single post because this community is there to support you. So feel free to get that inside the AI Profit Boarding. The final thing that I was going to say is if you do join the AI Profit Boarding today, as you can see inside the classroom and everything else that you get, this is where I put everything. So every live stream replay, every set of notes, every prompt, every automation, every system I build, when Google drops updates like they did this week, I break them down inside the boarding before anyone else. So you get all my live stream replays, complete video notes for every training, my personal prompt libraries, automation templates. You can copy direct access to me in the community, weekly live calls, and you also get access to the SEO Elite Circle. So you get my private SEO training for free to learn how to get your content ranking on Google, my best backlink strategies, the exact systems to use my SEO agency, traffic generation. Top of that, you get the December bonus stack, which is the school playbook, my complete system for building and growing a school community. Inside there, you get my Facebook domination playbook as well, my AI avatar machine, an engine for creating AI-powered content and systems that work for you around the clock, and VIP coaching as well. Right? So you get direct access to me for implementation and help. Top of that, I'm starting a private mastermind for people who want to build serious school communities. And this mastermind has never been public before. And after this, the only way in will be like a separate application process, right? So interestingly, I actually checked my Gemini before. I don't think I've got access. If I check down here, I can't see 3.0 available inside, but I think it's just currently rolling out because it's brand new. And also I can get access on Open Router instead. So if I go to models over here, you can actually get access to Gemini 3.0 Pro preview inside the model section. So go to Open Router AI and then go to Gemini 3.0 preview over here. All right. And then you can start using it inside the chat. Now, if you're wondering, okay, how does it perform? So it's still got a million context token window. These are the prices for using the API. And then you can see how it works over here. Some of the top apps using this. So it's available inside like Client, root code, you can code with it, Agent Zero, etc. We're going to be testing it out together. So if you also want a free guide on how to use Google Gemini and, you know, how to basically save time and scale your business with Google Gemini 3.0, I actually put together a whole guide and prompt inside the AI Success Lab, link in the comment description, completely free if you want to get access to that. And we're going to start testing this out in a second. So let's have a look at the updates and what it means and how it works. So you can see here, they've said nearly 2 years ago, we kicked off the Gemini era, one of our biggest scientific and product endeavors ever taken as a company. Since then, it's been incredible to see how much people love it. AI Overviews now have 2 billion users every month, which is pretty insane, to be fair, 2 billion users. You can see the Gemini app surpasses 650 million users per month. More than 70% of their cloud customers also use AI, right? So the uptake of Google Gemini has been absolutely wild. I think a lot of people watching this love it already, but Google Gemini 3.0 has just come out, of course, and they've said today we're taking another big step on the path toward AGI and releasing Gemini 3. It's the best model in the world for multimodal understanding and most powerful agentic and vibe coding model yet, delivering richer visuals, deeper interactivity, all built on a foundation of the art reasoning. Now, they've said we're beginning the Gemini era, and I'm just going to put a poll inside the chat there. And yeah, you can see. So we're beginning the Google Gemini 3 era by releasing Gemini 3.3 Pro in preview and making it available today across the suite of Google products so you can use it in your daily life to learn, build, and plan anything. Also introducing Gemini 3 Deep Think, an enhanced reasoning model that pushes Gemini performance further. So this is going to be interesting and fun to test. Let's keep scrolling down now. What else we got? State-of-the-art reasoning. You can see the benchmarks here. So you see how it performs. So you got humanities last exam. Let's take a look at this. All right. So Gemini 3.0 Pro. How does it perform? So humanities last exam compared to Gemini 2.5 Pro, it's almost doubled, isn't it? Compared to Claude Sonnet 4.5 as well, it's absolutely destroying it. And then even compare GPT 5.1 was not very good, but when you compare these directly, you can see that Gemini 3 Pro is just so much better than 5.1 as well. And that is a new release, right? That only came out last week or something like that. So the steps up and development here is pretty advanced. You can see the evaluation methodology over here as well. So you can see how it's been tested and that sort of thing. But basically, it outperforms all the other models right now. Easy Win says, I'm noticing it's way more creative at coming up with new stuff now. So that's going to be fun. What else we got here? Gemini 3.0 also brings a new depth of nuance, blah, blah, blah. Let's try this. Test this out. Just going to have a look at this. All right. Shader inspired by Plasma Flow's confinement in a tokamak. Add orbit controls. Return a single HTML page. I have no idea what that means, but why not test it out? All right. So we're going to go to Gemini 3.0 Pro here. We'll go in the chat. Then we're going to paste in that image. I'll just say type this out. I imagine it's probably quite slow whilst it's rolling out to everyone and whilst everyone's testing it, but let's see. And then Easy Wen says, why are they scared of releasing DeepThink? Is it really capable of doing a lot? I think they just have to be careful, like from a legal perspective, when they release this sort of stuff. And also they don't want to go too fast, right? So we've got the prompt over here, and then we're going to click on interactive app and we'll paste in that right now. Now we've got the HTML being coded. So you've got version 1. It's reasoning first and then it will code out in a second. So we'll see how that performs. Soundtrack intensity. Oh, that's interesting. So I think you can add soundtracks on top of whatever you create. Then you got Gemini 3 DeepThink, which I've not seen yet, but basically this is another new model that's coming out soon. Basically, they say this pushes the boundaries of intelligence even further, delivering a step change in Gemini's reasoning and multimodal understanding capabilities, right, to solve even more complex problems. It's just still generating. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a sec. And then you can see Gemini 3 DeepThink over here. So already Gemini 3 Pro was doing pretty well, but now you can see that compared to that, DeepThink is superior in pretty much every way. It wins on Humanities Last Exam versus Gemini, Claude, GPT-5 and GPT 5.1. And then also the same for Gemini 3 DeepThink on GPQA Scientific Knowledge. So you see it beats Gemini 3 Pro, 2.5 Pro, Sonnet, GPT-5 Pro, and also GPT 5.1, right? And the same for ARC. So DeepThink is going to be insane. But to be honest, I didn't really use DeepThink, the previous model. Let's go to the preview here. Because it's failed. It's failed on the API anyway. So there's a lot of hype about it, but it's not coded anything good here, right? And that's from the actual demo. Maybe it's rolling out on OpenRouter and it's not very good when everyone's using it, but let's see. So I'm going to try something else now. This is something that even Gemini struggled with before. So all the models pretty much failed at this, but we'll try this now. So I'm going to say create a PS5 controller in HTML. Just go with something simpler because it failed on that one before, and we'll see what we get. So it's starting to code that right now. We'll see how it does. So it's mapping it out. Let's keep going through, see what else we got here. Okay, it might be better in AI Studio, actually, just thinking about it. Maybe we'll try it in AI Studio instead. So let's do it over here. Let's see what we got. So we got model. If you go to aistudio.google.com, it's available here too. So you can select the model and then you can choose Gemini 3.0 Pro or Pro Preview. So we'll go with that one. That's the default. And then if we go inside here and we'll click on build, we can start building apps with it directly too. Bear in mind, there are limits on this. So you get a certain quota. So just be careful with that, but it will start coding here. So you can see it's coding on the left. Pretty simple and easy to use. Whilst we're waiting for that to load, we can also build stuff inside NA10 too. It is quite slow on the API for sure. Cool thing is, if you build directly inside AI Studio, you can also use the APIs from Bear 3 and stuff like that as well. So now we've got the game. I'm just going to mute that. And then we're going to use WSAD to move and space to fire. Let's try this out. Still not that great, is it? So this is the game from Gemini 3.0 Pro. I'm pretty sure if we put that exact same prompt into Claude, we'd get a better output. So let's try it on Claude, for example, and then we'll plug this in. So we've got AI Studio and Gemini 3 over here, and then we have Claude over here. I just have a feeling that Claude's going to do a better job. If you well, now, if we wanted to build an AI agent with Gemini 3.0 Pro, we should be able to do that here. So if we type in AI agent, go over here, chat model, and then if we type in, you can do this two ways. You could use Google Gemini chat model, or you could use OpenRouter. So you could just plug in OpenRouter over here and then select, for example, Gemini 3.0 Pro. If not, you should be able to use, let's have a look. Yeah, so you got Gemini Pro latest, Gemini Pro preview. There you go. So you can actually plug in your account here, add your API key, select model, and then you can use Gemini 3.0 Pro inside A10 2 using that. Mark says, love Gemini 3, but it didn't blow my mind, lol. I would agree. I think so far from what I've seen, not that impressed. This is much nicer now, actually. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Did it just improve the prompt? Okay, let's have a look here. So Claude, this is the same sort of thing. This is pretty nice, but it's 2D, isn't it? It's pretty flat and it's pretty basic. If we compare the game of this versus, and bear in mind, we asked for a 3D spaceship game, right? And also, yeah, it's only in 2D. But if we compare this versus Google AI Studio, so let's reboot this. This is more crazy and interesting, right? So I would say Gemini 3 did do a much better job than Claude for that output. And then if we have a look at AI Studio, this one was not so great, right? This was super basic and didn't work at all. And then if you want to use it, instead of showing you how to do it, so you just connect Google Gemini into the chat and then select 3.0 preview. Synthwave vibes, yeah, I would agree with that. And then we've got the PS5 controller over here as well. It's pretty realistic, isn't it? And then you can press enter to use a cross, or PS5 button, press space, arrows uses a D-pad, and then WASD uses the sticks, right? Like you can see, that's pretty cool. If we compare that to Claude, I actually tested this out yesterday. So if we go back to chats now, and then we have a look at the PS5 controller from Claude, pretty bad, right? So that's the Gemini 3.0 example. Pretty good. You can use it. It's very interactive. It has a nice little guide on how to use it below. And then everything is connected and created together. But then if we have a look at Claude's output, it's pretty bad, right? So I would say that Gemini 3 Pro is on a new level compared to Claude. It seems a lot more powerful, a lot better, etc. So let's have a look what people are saying on X as well. So if we scroll through, Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, said, congrats to Google on Gemini 3. Looks like a great model. Pretty nice. What else we got here? Sundar Pichai, CEO of Google, said it's the best model in the world for multimodal understanding and our most powerful agent plus vibe coding model yet. For sure, that's got to be with AI, right? That's been written with AI, I'm pretty sure. 1.2 million views on that. Pretty insane. What else we got here? Gemini 3 Pro, our most intelligent model. Yeah, so to reasoning, 1501, ELO on LM score. For sure, like Google are just leading the race, aren't they? Mark says, it's crazy that every day I came here and there's something new that comes out. What's coming next? Any leaks you know of? I actually heard that, for example, Nano Banana is coming out soon. There's going to be a new update for that. So that's going to be fun. And the Diva says, Gemini 3.0 handling the logic whilst my neurons are buffering. For sure. And why don't I have it yet? I have the Pro subscription plan too. I don't have it. But again, like you can get access inside AI Studio, right? So if you go to AI Studio, you can get access here. It's currently rolling out. Bear in mind, it's brand new, right? So if I check my models, I actually do have 3 Pro now. So it says 3 Pro, which is great. But I think it'll be rolling out to some people. I think that wasn't there before when I checked. So just be aware of that. You can check by having a look at the drop down. And then for mine, for example, it says thinks through complex topics with 3 Pro. So make sure that you select thinking and then just double check it is 3 Pro if you want to get access to this and you want to check if you've got it. Well, I'm on the Ultra plan as well. So maybe they roll it out to people on the Ultra plan first and then roll it out to everyone else later. So that's something else to be aware of. So any other tests that people want to see, I would be interested. Otherwise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to ChatGPT and I'll say, okay, knowing what you know about me, give me some useful but simple app suggestions. And we'll do some more tests. For some reason, ChatGPT 5.1 calls me mate every single time now. Is anyone disrespect? So productivity and focus. For some reason, I ask for like app suggestions to build as well, to build myself. And then it just gives me other people's apps. Okay, great. Thank you, ChatGPT 5.1. So let's switch over now. Okay, let's try this one. Build a web app that lets me write my top 3 priorities each morning. Marks them as done. Saves my entries in local storage so I can see yesterday's list. Okay, we'll go over here. And then we're going to go to Gemini, plug that in, and see what we get back. In the meantime, we're going to go over to Claude as well. Gemini 3 already beat Claude in terms of the space game and also the PS5 controller and HTML. ChatGPT sucks, not going to lie. I don't even use it anymore. Yeah, in the last 7 days, it's just been so bad. It's crazy. And Salami Nugget is looking for an AI girlfriend. Okay, top bants today, top banter. Let's see what else we got here. What else are people building with this? There's some people saying like there's not a massive step up versus the previous ones. Anti-gravity, new agentic first software IDE. That's going to be interesting. Some people saying it is going to replace Cursor, for example. Have a look at this. I'm not even going to use ChatGPT anymore. We're going to use Gemini 3.0 Pro. I'm going to say, tell me everything I need to know about Google's new anti-gravity agentic IDE, plus give me a full guide on it. And we'll come back to that in a sec. Anti-gravity is already out. You should try it. I might do another video on that. I'm actually going to tell my team of editors to do a video on that. So Google just released anti-gravity. a major new agentic IDE designed to complete directly with tools like Cursor and Windsurf. That is interesting. They're just dominating, aren't they, Google? Like they're too good, and they're everywhere as well. Google Antigravity is an AI-assisted development environment, unlike traditional IDEs that simply adds an AI chat box to the side. Antigravity is built from the ground up to be agentic. That means you don't just ask it to write code snippet by snippet. You act as an architect. Okay, so it's like Cursor or whatever. And then you got 3 services. So agent manager, editor, browser integration. Oh, that's cool. So you can test it out inside your Chrome as well. It's using Gemini 3 Pro as a core model, whereas Cursor and Windsurf, I think they have new models than that. I don't think they rely solely on that, but yeah. It's been a while since I used Cursor and Windsurf, simply because the demand for it on YouTube was not there. I'll tell you that for free. All right, so we're going to go over to our app now. Let's put in the priorities, and then we can tick it off. Okay, so it's coding everything really nicely here, super easy as well to use. Ask the editors to explain the difference between using Antigravity and AI Studio. Okay, let's try that. So just to be clear here, like AI Studio is where you can code and build apps directly here. And then you've also got Antigravity, which is a new IDE from Google using Gemini 3 Pro, which is an agentic kind of alternative and competitor to Cursor and Windsurf. So let's have a look. So AI Studio is a playground. Think of this like a sketchbook or science lab. You go here to talk to the AI and test ideas. You ask it questions like write a poem about a cat, whatever, and you can build apps inside there. You can also use vision. It's like testing a new pen on a scrap of paper to see if the ink color is pretty. Okay, I like that. Google Antigravity is like the robot construction team. This is like a full workshop of robot helpers, right? So you go here to build like bigger things. I assume it's local as well when you're using Antigravity. And then if you want to just get like quick apps built, you would use AI Studio. But if you want to make like a real app or a real game or something bigger, then you would use Antigravity, basically. That's the difference. So I'm loving Gemini 3. Actually, I think it's pretty good so far. It had a tough start, but it's actually getting a lot better now. I think once you figure it out. Let's see what else we can do here. So I'm going to say, okay, let's go over to your apps and see if we can build something here. Create a new app. And then we should be able to use Google search data as well. So if we use Google search data in Gemini 3 preview, then I'm going to say, okay, create, based on the topic I give you, create an amazing guide that's beautifully formatted, text only, leave emojis, third grade language, with everything I'd need to know in that particular topic. It will be a lead magnet for my videos, e.g. Gemini 3.0 Pro Ultimate Guide. Topic will change each time. Search the web for the latest info, turn that into an amazing guide plus giveaway that people would love. Let's try and build that out. So basically what we're doing is building like a lead magnet generation machine using the Gemini 3.0 app builder. So we're using Gemini 3.0 previews, you can see over here. And then we should be able to build that app. And then if you want to get access to this, I'll put it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you go to Classroom, then we shall go to SOP updates over here, and I'll plug this in over here. So let's see what we got here. And inside the poll, we've had 33 votes for whether it's insane or not insane. All right, so you can see the poll here, and 79% have said it's insane. So if you see insane in the title, we've all agreed, the 80-20 have agreed that it is insane. So let's go to the app we built. Where is it now? Over here, right? So what do you want to teach? Enter a topic and we'll search your web to build the ultimate beginner's guide for you. So I'm going to put Gemini 3.0 Pro inside here, hit generate. It's based on live web data, so it's using Google's API. I like the UI of this, it looks super nice. And then we've got the guide right here. Pretty nice. I would just say improve the formatting so it has headings, plus H2s, H3s, etc. Notate what else we want to add inside there. Include 100 plus, 50 to 100 plus use cases / tips inside each guide. What else do we want to add? I want to say tailor this to my audience, which is B2B. If it's about AI, include prompts, anything more useful. We can also save that as PDF. I really like that feature. Look at that. It should be about 1,000 words. Every sentence on a new line. Yeah, that'll do for now. All right, let's make those changes. So you see how easy it is to build an app now. And you can see that Gemini, but by the way, I've tried something similar with 2.5 Pro, and it did create something really nice, but it doesn't look as good as that. I'm actually going to pull up the example of that so you can see and compare them side by side. Here's an example of another tool I've built for live streams, but this is with Gemini 2.5 Pro, right? So you'll see a big difference in the UI between them. So this is Gemini 2.5 Pro. Just doesn't look quite as nice as this one, which looks and feels more like a SaaS product, right? You've basically built a website and an app in one single click. And this is on a live stream when there's a lot of pressure to get it right and it can easily mess up and stuff like that. So let's click Gemini 3.0 Pro over here. powered by 2.5 Flash and Google Search. If you want to, I'm going to publish this now, but if you want to get access to that, I'm going to put the link to the Lead Magnet app here. So that's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. And if you want to get a full guide on this, I'll put it inside the AI Profit Boardroom as well. There you go. There we go. I still don't like the way it's not broken up. So there's no line spaces or anything like that. And there's no H2 tags. That's the only thing that I would say. Let's save it as a PDF and see what we get. It doesn't seem to work for the PDF option. Okay, so there's still some bugs in this. Like, it's not perfect by any means. So I'd say make sure you add nice line spacing plus headings, etc. Super messy. I'm going to take a screenshot of this. Then we'll go back over to the chat here, paste that in, and just say, see example attached. It's super messy plus hard to use. Can you improve the UI of the guide that you create so it looks more beautiful? Also, the save as PDF option doesn't work. So it's making less mistakes, but it's still not perfect. Don't expect. I saw a lot of stuff on X about like how you can one-shot with this and all that sort of stuff. But if you're building something a bit more complex, it requires more understanding. It's going to take a bit more time, right? So you see us thinking and creating that bit. But if you want access to that app and the guide, just go to the AI Profit Boardroom Classroom, and then go down to new SOP updates, November 2025 onwards, and you'll see the guide at the top of it here, right? There you go. I want to see what they've done with, this is interesting. So you can get Google Anti-Gravity, experience liftoff with the next generation IDE. You can download it for macOS. I'm on a Mac Mini, so I don't know if that's going to be able to handle it and the live stream at the same time, but we can try and test it, see if the live stream breaks. And then Google Anti-Gravity is our agent development platform, evolving the IDE into the first agent first era. Agent first experience, built for developers for the agent first era. Yeah, okay. There's not actually that much information about it, how it works, but let's go to the downloads here and we shall install it. Let's grab that, plug that in. That should be installed now. Let's open up Anti-Gravity. What's going on here? Just copying it. All right, this should be fun. Excellent. Okay, we'll try the guide as well in the background. And in the meantime, we'll go over to Anti-Gravity and see what we got. Open up. If the camera starts lagging and stuff like that, just let me know, because typically IDEs, they make things a little bit. So we'll see what we get in a sec. Elsa, good to see you here. Elsa's an AI Profit Boardroom member, so I appreciate you reposting the stream. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing. Super kind. And then we've got different options for the theme types. We've got dark, Tokyo night, light, and solarized light. I think I prefer dark out of all of them. Let's try Tokyo. I do Tokyo. I'm a big fan. I went a couple of months ago. Beautiful place. So we got agent-driven development, agent-assisted development, review-driven development, and custom configuration. I'm going to go with agent-assisted because that's a recommended option, and I do not know how to code. Then we can install extensions. We've got options between Vim and normal key bindings and install. I don't know what any of that means. I'll be honest with you. So I'm going to just sign into Google in the background, and we just open that up, agree to the terms to use, click OK, log in here, and then here's what Anti-Gravity looks like. All right, so here's Anti-Gravity. You can see it now, right? So you can see like this is the IDE, and then we can open up a folder, open up Agent Manager or Client Repository. Feels exactly like Visual Studio Code or Cursor, to be honest. And then inside here, we can start using the different models. Now, you can select a model here, so you can choose. This is interesting as well. Look at this. So this is Google's IDE, but you can use GPT-OSS, Claude Sonnet, Gemini 3 Pro, or Gemini 3 Pro High, right? So you've got two different options between low and high when it comes to coding. And then if we go inside the chat here, we can say, okay, code out an app for any suggestions, people. If not, I'm just going to say research student Goldie and plan out a beautiful landing page for his AI Profit Boardroom community, which helps people save time, get coaching and help, and unlimited technical support on AI automation, plus has a community of 1,700 people, plus comes with Julian's private automations. And put third grade language, direct response style copy, beautiful. Let's see what we get back from them. Mark says, nice, happy to help, mate. This was your suggestion. So that's the beauty of live streams, isn't it? You can do these together. And if you like live streams, inside the AI Profit Boardroom, we do 4 live coaching calls a week. So you can ask any questions that you have live there, watch cool stuff being built, etc. H Story says, Gemini 3 makes much less mistakes overall. Awesome. Okay, so it's planned it now. Said I need an active. So can I just get it to run this for me? There we go. And then if we switch to fast now, and I've said, okay, please go ahead. Hey, Historia says Anti-Gravity is windsurf on. Yeah, let's check it out. It's going to be interesting to see how this performs. When should I use fast, slow, and high, etc.? So I'm going to test out fast now. I think for building something really complex, then you want to use like high. If it's just something basic like a web page, I'm pretty sure you could get away with fast. So it depends what you're using it for. But yeah, I think from what I've seen, fast is enough. And then if you're building something crazy, then of course, go with high. But I think you'll probably have a credit limit, which means that you can't use too much unless you're going crazy. I'm actually going to switch to low in a sec, just to test it out. So I'm using fast and high right now, and then I'll switch to low in a second. I just want to show you the difference. And Mini PC Tech, thanks so much. Says, as usual, Julian, you are right on top of things and keep us informed. Glad I subscribed to you here and on the AR Profit Board. Appreciate you so much, Mini PC Tech, lad. That's super kind. And I'm glad you're enjoying the AR Profit Board as well. That always makes me happy. I think we've got 96 pages of testimonials like that inside their profit board, and it's thanks to people like you. So really appreciate it. Thank you. So let's keep going through now. Now the HTMS ready to go. I'm gonna say, okay, run it. All right. So I think I've got to set up a folder. Let's try that now. New folder, test, trust the authors. Yes, to trust the authors. I want to try that again. So I'm going to use low now, fast, build a website for Julian Goldie's AR Profit Board. Link to the page. What else do we want to do? Probably paste in some information about it, and we'll plug in this. Yeah, we have a lot of training on how we do that, Mark, inside the AR Profit Boarding as well. So if you want to learn how we grew that group so fast, check out the training inside the AR Profit Boarding. If you just type in school once you're in the AR Profit Boarding, you'll see all the training on school and how we did that. Agent execution terminated due to error. Provider overload. There we go. I'm not that impressed, to be honest. So far, it's totally failed. Let's try and switch to, I'm going to try again. We use Gemini 3 Pro high instead. I was using low before and it totally failed because the provider was overloaded. I can imagine like so many people are using this right now. So let's try it again. Pair ranks. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah. Do you know what? Shout out to Pair Ranks, because yesterday they messaged me and said, I'm pretty sure 3.0 Pro is coming out soon or like within the next 24 hours, etc. And then it came out. So shout out to you. That's pretty amazing. Wow. Some crazy leaks right there. So Pair Ranks has all the information. So when I accept the changes on this, now we can open this. I'm going to say open up. Do you know, it's funny that Gemini 3 Pro high is working, but low isn't. Why would it do that? All right, so we've got to set up browser use. I'm going to set that up now. It's going to open up a browser. You probably can't see this. So I'm going to just share my whole screen here. So what you can see here is that I'm installing the extension for anti-gravity. Let's add that extension now. I've just got to sign into Chrome. There we go. Boom. Look at that. Beautiful. Wow. That's so cool. That looks awesome. All right. As you can see here, it's taken all the information that I gave it, and then it links through to the AR Profit Boarding page, the sales page for it. So let's say someone was an affiliate for the AR Profit Boarding. They could easily set up a page inside the anti-gravity IDE, create a beautiful landing page like this. It's got all the information and then goes through to their affiliate link. And then they can link to that from whatever videos you clip on YouTube, etc. And you see here, like the super nice. It's got all this information about the AR Profit Boardroom, our double guarantee, and then the link. The only thing that I would say here is you want to add a bit more information and copy to the page, but it's pretty easy to do that because you can go back to the IDE here and say, okay, now fill out the page with more information about its vision, benefits, story, who we are, why you should sign up, social proof, etc. Right? And that should start coding it out now. However, you can see again, we've got that provider overload error here. So just be aware that a lot of people are using this and you're going to have to switch between models quite often. I always see this happen with Trey as well. So you have to switch between the models, you have to test different things out, etc. It doesn't always work perfectly, but it's looking cool. So let's go back to the IDE. We'll switch to, let's see, okay, that again. There we go. So it's editing the HTML now. Let's see what we get back. And there we go. We've got another error. So here's what I would say. And it's edited the page as well to be even worse. Okay. The output was pretty cool from anti-gravity, but because it's brand new and because loads of people are using it and testing it right now, it's super, super slow and seems to really struggle right there. Gemini's new model training could come as soon as mid-December. Okay, nice. So you let me know what you think. Overall, I would say it's pretty good. I'm excited to see what anti-gravity can do once it's not overloaded with people testing it. But yeah, I've shown you basically how to use Google Gemini 3 Pro to build apps inside AI Studio, how to create apps inside the Gemini, how to use it on OpenRouter, how to use it inside the IDE as well, and also some of the pros and the cons of using this. TK says, good morning, legend. Good to see you here, Tick. Thanks for joining. So far, it's been a lot better than Claude for the PS5 controller HTML test, which is another of Pair Ranks HTML test. So thanks for that. Pair Ranks is an absolute legend. And when Gemini 3 Deep Think comes out, it's going to be wild, isn't it? Things in you get mad, absolutely mad. A lot of people say it. All of Google's marketing as well is saying it's basically leading to AGI, but the benchmarks are just, look at this from Jeff Dean. Look at the comparisons in the benchmarks here. Gemini 3 Pro is just destroying 2.5, Claude 4.5 Sonnet, and GPT 5.1. So again, like Gemini have just really established themselves as the best in the world for doing this stuff. Historia says OpenAI has a lot of catching up to do. I would agree, a lot of catching up to do, let's be honest. And you can see Gemini 3 Pro is now number 1 across all major leaderboards on LM Arena too. So if we pull this up, we can see the differences here. Gemini 3 Pro is now number 1 across all major leaderboards. Number 1 in text, vision, and web dev. Number 1 in coding, massive gains over 2.5. They've absolutely crushed it. And I've proven that it's pretty good today. So I'm loving it. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get access to the full guide on Google Gemini, go to the classroom inside the AI Profit Boarding link in the comments description, or just go to aiprofitboarding.com. And then from there, you're going to scroll down and go to SOP Updates November 2025. You'll find the details on Google Gemini's 3.0 app over here. And inside here, you can scroll down. You've got the full app, lots of different prompts, the app that I built. This also comes with all the latest updates and everything else that I've published recently as well, and all my best systems, etc. And then inside the classroom, we literally update this every single day, right? So you can see here, we're probably the only community in the world for AI that updates their teachings and their trainings every single day, like you can see inside the school classroom. Now, inside the community here, you can see all of our latest posts, competitions, etc. that are running, lots of cool stuff going on. And then also inside the classroom, you'll get access to all of my best trainings on, for example, the 6-week AI automation masterclass, where you can learn AI automation from scratch, the playbook that comes with all of my best systems for learning AI and all my best tutorials, etc., and shorts and everything else, AI avatar videos. You've also got automations on lead gen and social media, right? So you can see all these different lead generation and social media automations with video tutorials and step-by-step prompts, etc. And then inside here as well, if you want to learn 10, we've got all our best templates and workflows. We have the agency course on how to land clients, how to get clients based on what's helped me scale my agency. And additionally, inside here, we have Q&A call recordings. The Q&A call recordings are crazy. Like you can see a whole year of call recordings here, so you can jump on them, ask any questions you have, etc. And then finally, we have the AI SEO automation section and the YouTube AI course as well. So if you want to know how I, for example, create AI videos, how I come up with the topics, how I grew my channel to millions of views per month, I teach it all inside the AI Profit Boarding. And then we also have 4 weekly coaching calls. So you can jump on the coaching calls, ask any questions you have, get help, get support, get live technical support, etc., and ask any questions, plus connect with the community, right? So feel free to get that. Link in the comments description to the AI Profit Boarder. We also have, if you're interested in SEO, link in the comments description again, but we have a Black Friday sale for our SEO services here. It's backed by a 7-day guarantee. You can see all the details of this right here on the page, including what you get, the strategy, etc. And you can order directly online, right? So you don't even have to jump on a call. I know, like most people, they actually, for me personally, I don't want to call. Like before I try out a service, I just want to order online. And so you can switch between these packages, choose which one you want, put in the coupon code Black Friday, hit apply, and then you can see that you'll save 20% with the Black Friday code, which is for a limited time only. And if you order online, you can get access to that SEO service right there and then. So thanks so much for watching. Eric says, did you try the PS5 test with Gemini 3? Yes, I did. And Gemini 3 absolutely destroyed everyone else when it came to that. Tick says, I wasn't exactly thrilled that using VF in AI Studio now requires a API paid. Yeah, that is a little bit annoying. If you want to get a free one though, just Google Opal. And if you can't get access to that, DM me inside the AI Profit Boarding and we'll show you a workaround to get access to that. ChatGPT 5.2 just dropped. Google fired back with Gemini 3. OpenAI called a code red. Google put AI in every product they own. This is the biggest AI battle we've ever seen. And I tested both to see which one actually wins. Let's start with the big question everyone's asking. Which AI is actually better? Here's the truth. It depends on what you need, but I'm going to break down exactly when to use each one so you never waste time on the wrong tool again. ChatGPT 5.2 just launched and it's a direct response to Google. OpenAI literally declared a code red. That's how serious the competition got. They had to move fast. They had to match Gemini's power, and they did something smart. They gave us 3 versions: Instant for quick stuff, Thinking for deeper work, and Pro for the complex problems that need serious brain power. Now, here's what makes ChatGPT 5.2 different, but the reasoning got way better. We're talking about better problem solving, better coding, better data analysis. Everything that requires deep thinking got an upgrade. And the long context handling is insane now. You can throw entire documents at it, and it actually understands everything, not just the first few pages, the whole thing. But here's where it gets interesting. ChatGPT 5.2 handles tool use way better now. What does that mean? It means you can have it work with spreadsheets, create presentations, manage complex workflows. It's not just answering questions anymore. It's doing actual work for you, the kind of work that used to take hours. And the safety improvements are real. OpenAI learned from all the weird outputs people were getting before. Now it's more reliable, more consistent, less likely to give you something completely off the wall. Wow, that matters when you're using this for real business stuff. So that's ChatGPT 5.2. But what about Gemini 3? Google came in swinging hard, really hard. And they did something OpenAI can't match. They put Gemini everywhere. It's in search, it's in Gmail, it's in Chrome, it's in Maps. Every Google product you use has Gemini built right in. That's a massive advantage. Gemini 3 is truly multimodal, not just text, not just images. We're talking text, images, audio, and video. It can generate videos through their VO model. It can understand audio. It processes everything at once. That's the real power here. One AI that handles every type of content you throw at it. And Google added something called deep think mode. This is for the power users, the people who need advanced reasoning and multi-step problem solving. It's similar to ChatGPT's thinking mode, but it's built into the Google ecosystem. So if you're already using Google Workspace, it just works with everything you do. The visual features got crazy good too. Gemini can help you shop. It can organize your inbox. It can give you dynamic visual outputs. It's not just answering questions. It's actively helping you get stuff done in your daily life. And because it's connected to Google Search, it always has the most current information. That's huge. And if you're finding this valuable, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where I show you exactly how to use tools like ChatGPT 5.2 and Google Gemini 3 to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. These AI models can transform how you work, but only if you know the right strategies and workflows to implement them effectively. Link is in the description. Now, let me show you the real differences. I tested both with the same prompts, real world stuff you'd actually use, and the results were eye-opening. First test was planning a week. I asked both to create a balanced routine with a work hours, fitness, meals, study time, and social time. Had to be realistic, not some perfect schedule nobody could follow. ChatGPT 5.2 gave me a super structured plan. Everything was organized perfectly. Time blocks were precise. The logic was solid. It thought through every detail. But here's the thing. It felt a bit robotic, like a productivity machine made it. Still useful though. Gemini 3 gave me something different, more flexible, more human. It understood that life isn't perfectly scheduled. It left buffer time. It suggested using Google Calendar to sync everything. It even pulled in some real-world suggestions based on current trends. That integration with Google products showed up immediately. Second test was a meal planner. Create a healthy weekly meal plan for a family of 4. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Had to be realistic and organized. This is where things got interesting, really interesting. ChatGPT 5.2 nailed the structure, beautiful meal plan. Everything was organized by day, nutritionally balanced, variety across the week. Portions made sense. Still incredibly useful for planning though. Gemini 3 went deeper. It gave me meal suggestions that felt more practical, and it connected to Google services to help with recipe ideas and cooking times. That real world integration came through again. For daily life stuff, Gemini has an edge. Third test was coding. I asked both to build a simple to-do list app, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, had to save tasks in local storage, had to be clean and functional. This is where ChatGPT 5.2 destroyed it, absolutely destroyed it. The code was perfect, clean structure, good comments. Everything worked on the first try, no bugs, no weird quirks, just solid professional code. This is what ChatGPT was built for, deep work, technical stuff, complex problem solving. Gemini 3 gave me working code too, but it wasn't as clean. The structure was a bit messier. It would work for a beginner. But if you're doing serious development work, ChatGPT 5.2 is the clear winner, not even close. Fourth test was visual. I uploaded a messy desk photo, asked both to suggest a reorganization layout and create a visual sketch. This is where Gemini 3 flexed its multimodal muscles. It understood the image instantly, gave me spatial planning suggestions, even generated a simple layout sketch. The visual creativity was impressive. ChatGPT 5.2 could analyze the image too. It gave good suggestions, but the visual output wasn't as strong. Gemini is built for multimodal work from the ground up. When you need image understanding and visual creativity, Gemini wins. So here's what I learned. ChatGPT 5.2 is your deep work machine. You need complex reasoning, use ChatGPT. You need professional coding, use ChatGPT. You need long document analysis, use ChatGPT. You need structured thinking for business problems, use ChatGPT. It's the productivity powerhouse for knowledge work. Google Gemini 3 is your daily life assistant. You need quick research with current info, use Gemini. You need multimodal work with images and video, use Gemini. You need something integrated with all your Google apps, use Gemini. You need practical everyday help, use Gemini. Here's my honest take. Don't pick one. Use both. I do. ChatGPT 5.2 for my agency work, deep SEO strategy, content planning, technical problem solving, client presentations, anything that needs serious brain power. Gemini 3 for everything else, quick research, checking current trends, visual workshopping, email organization, daily tasks, all the stuff that's easier when it's connected to Google. The real winner is you, because for the first time, we have two AI systems that are both incredible. Different strengths, different use cases, but both legitimately powerful. Competition made both companies better. We get better tools. Everyone wins. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. And if you're finding this valuable, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where I show you exactly how to use tools like ChatGPT 5.2 and Google Gemini 3 to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. These AI models can transform how you work, but only if you know the right strategies and workflows to implement them effectively. Link is in the description. So comment below which one you're using, Team ChatGPT or Team Gemini. Google just dropped their biggest AI update ever. Gemini 3 Pro is here, and it's insane. You can now make text, images, and videos in one place. No more jumping between 5 different tools. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it. This is going to change everything. All right, let's talk about Gemini 3 Pro. This is Google's newest AI model, and it just came out. It's their smartest model ever. And here's what makes it different. Most AI tools do one thing. ChatGPT does text, Midjourney does images, Runway does video, but Gemini 3 Pro connects everything. You can plan your content, make images, and create videos all in one workflow. That's huge. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do this step by step. No fluff, no complicated stuff, just the real workflow that actually works. So here's what we're covering today. First, what is Gemini 3 Pro and why should you care? Second, how to use it in the Gemini app for beginners. Third, I'm going to show you Nano Banana Pro, which makes incredible images. Fourth, VO 3.1, which turns those images into actual videos. And fifth, the big one, build mode in Google AI Studio, where you can build entire apps with zero code. This is the part that's going to blow your mind. Let me start with what Gemini 3 Pro actually is. Google calls it their most intelligent model. It beats their old model, Gemini 2.5 Pro, on all the major tests. It's designed to handle PhD level reasoning. That means it can solve really hard problems that other AI models struggle with, and it has something called deep think mode coming soon, which makes it even smarter for complex tasks. But here's what matters for you. Gemini 3 Pro understands everything. Text, images, code, documents, audio, video, all of it. You can throw a huge code base at it or a long document, and it just gets it. This is what they call multimodal. It means one AI brain that handles all types of content instead of needing different tools for different jobs. And here's the other big thing. It's built for agentic workflows. That's a fancy way of saying it can plan things, call tools, write code, and fix code all on its own. You tell it what you want, and it figures out the steps. This is huge for building apps and automating work. So where do you actually use this thing? There are 3 main places. First, the Gemini app on the web or your phone. This is the easiest way for beginners. You just chat with it like ChatGPT. Second, AI mode in Google search. If you're a subscriber, you can route harder questions to Gemini 3 automatically. Third, Google AI Studio. This is where the magic happens for building apps. And we're going to spend a lot of time here later. So let me tell you about something that's going to save you so much time. If you want to learn how to actually use AI tools like Gemini 3 Pro to automate your business and save hours every single day, you need to check out AI Profit Boardroom. This is where we teach you the exact workflows to use AI for content creation, SEO, video production, and way more. We show you how to build systems that actually work, so you're not wasting time figuring this stuff out yourself. The link is in the description. Trust me, if you're serious about using AI the right way, this is where you need to be. Okay, back to the good stuff. Now let's talk about pricing, because I know you're wondering. For regular people who just want to use Gemini, there are different plans. The AI Pro plan is about $20 a month. This gets you access to Gemini 3 Pro with higher limits. Then there's the Ultra plan, which is around $125 a month. That's the top tier with the most features. Free users can still use Gemini 3, but you get limited usage, and it switches to smaller models when you hit the limit. For developers and power users who want to use the API, it's different. You pay per token, which is basically per word. Under 200,000 tokens, it costs about $2 per million input tokens and $12 per million output tokens. If you go over 200,000 tokens, the price goes up to $4 input and $18 output. I'll put a chart on screen so you can see the breakdown clearly. Okay, now here comes the really cool part. Let me introduce you to Nano Banana Pro. Yes, that's actually what Google named it. Nano Banana Pro is Gemini 3 Pro's image engine. It's a state-of-the-art image generation model built on top of Gemini 3 Pro, and it's designed specifically for real work, not just art. Here's what makes it different from tools like Midjourney or DALL-E. Nano Banana Pro uses reasoning and world knowledge to make accurate images. So if you ask it to make an educational diagram or an infographic, it actually understands the topic and creates something correct. It's not just making random pretty pictures. This is perfect for making photo, real images, infographics, diagrams, UI mockups, and visuals for presentations or ads. You can use Nano Banana Pro in a few places. First, in the Gemini app, you just choose Create Images with the thinking model. Second, it's built into Google Workspace now. So in Google Slides, Google Vids, Notebook LM, and Google Ads, you can generate images with Nano Banana Pro. Third, in Google AI Studio and Vertex AI for developers, here's something important about watermarks. If you're using the free or pro tier, your images will have a visible Gemini Sparkle watermark plus an invisible Synth ID signature. But if you're an Ultra subscriber or using Google AI Studio developer tools, you can get images without the visible watermark. They still have the invisible Synth ID tag, but no sparkle. This is huge if you're making content for clients or professional work. Now let's talk about Veo 3.1. This is Google's video generation model. It makes high quality 1080p videos with really good motion and creative control. Veo 3.1 can do text to video, where you just describe what you want. But the real magic is image to video. You give it a single image or two images for start and end frames, and it animates them into smooth video. It handles cinematic camera motion, realistic lighting, and it can even add audio if you want. This is perfect for storyboarding, product videos, concept animations, and social media clips. Now I'm going to show you the part that's going to change everything, the build mode in Google AI Studio. This is insane. Build mode is the fastest way to go from an idea to a working app. You just describe what you want in normal English, and build mode does everything. It picks the right models like Gemini 3 Pro or Nano Banana Pro. It generates the code, the project structure, and the user interface, and you see a live preview on the right side of your screen. As it builds, it even has something called AI chips. These let you add features like image generation or Google Maps just by describing what you want. And if you're stuck and don't know what to build, there's a button that says I'm feeling lucky. You click it and it gives you a complete app idea and builds it for you. This is wild. Let me break down how the code works so you understand what's happening. When you build something in build mode, it creates a file called geminiservice.ts. This is the main logic file. It handles all your prompts, calls the Gemini API, passes the responses, and routes everything to the right models. It uses the GenAI TypeScript SDK to talk to Gemini 3 Pro and the other models. You don't need to understand coding to use this, but it's good to know what's going on under the hood. The cool part is how you can change things. Use the chat panel in build mode to ask for updates. You can say add a button that generates 3 new thumbnail ideas, or change the color scheme to dark mode with neon accents, or integrate Nano Banana Pro to generate images from the script. Gemini 3 Pro understands what you want and updates the code live. You can also open the code tab and manually edit things if you want more control. Then you can save everything to GitHub. Now let me show you a real workflow that connects everything together. I'm going to walk through how to use Gemini 3 Pro, Nano Banana Pro, and Veo 3.1 to build a complete YouTube content pipeline. This is the kind of workflow that would normally take hours with multiple tools, but we're going to do it all in one place. Step 1, use Gemini 3 Pro to plan and script your video. Go to the Gemini app or AI mode. Give it a prompt like this. You are a YouTube strategist. Plan a 10-minute video called whatever your topic is. Include a hook, chapters, B-roll ideas, and CTAs for beginners. Then refine it by saying, write a conversational script in my voice and describe your style. Fast-paced, no fluff, whatever fits you. Gemini 3 Pro is really strong at complex planning and long context, so it can handle long scripts and multiple revisions way better than older models. Step 2, generate your visual assets with Nano Banana Pro. Go to the Gemini app and choose Create Images, or use Google Slides or AI Studio. Start with thumbnails, say create a clean YouTube thumbnail concept for a video titled whatever your title is. Modern, dark UI, Gemini colors, big text, no faces. Then make infographics. Say design a simple infographic explaining the difference between Gemini 3 Pro, Nano Banana Pro, and Veo 3.1 for beginners. Then create storyboard frames. Generate a sequence of images showing each chapter of your video. If you're using the developer environment in AI Studio, you can use the Gemini Image API to generate these assets programmatically, which is even faster. Step 3, turn your images into motion with Veo 3.1. Use a Veo 3.1 powered tool. Upload one of your Nano Banana Pro images. Give it a prompt to animate this as a slow zoom in with a floating UI HUD and subtle parallax. 8 seconds, 16:9 YouTube intro background. For transitions between scenes, give it 2 frames, one for the start and one for the end, and let Veo 3.1 create a smooth motion between them. Choose video plus audio if you want background sound, or just video only if you don't need it. This is how you go from static images to cinematic motion. Now here's where it gets really powerful. Step 4, build a content machine app in build mode. This is the hero move. Go to Google AI Studio and click build mode. Start with a prompt like this. Build a simple web app called Gemini Content Machine that helps YouTube creators generate a video outline and script using Gemini 3 Pro, generate thumbnail prompts and images using Nano Banana Pro, and then export a shot list to feed into a Veo 3.1 workflow. The UI should have 3 tabs called Plan, Visuals, and Export. Use a clean dark theme. Watch what happens. Build mode starts creating your app in real time. You can add AI chips in the prompt or through the interface. Tell it to use Gemini 3 Pro for text and reasoning, Nano Banana Pro for image generation, and optionally add live search for research. Click build or run and you'll see the app preview appear on the right side of your screen. Open Gemini service.ts and you can actually see how it's calling Gemini 3 Pro and Nano Banana Pro through the SDA. Now you can iterate using the chat. Say, make the plan tab, allow the user to choose video length, like short 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and adjust the script detail accordingly. Or add a button in the visuals tab that generates 3 thumbnail ideas plus 3 B-roll image prompts. Or add a drop down to export a CSV shot list. Gemini 3 Pro updates the code every time you ask. This is what they call vibe coding. You vibe out what you want and the AI builds it. When you're done, you can deploy or export the code to GitHub and then integrate it with whatever Veo 3.1 interface you're using. This is a complete content creation pipeline built in under 30 minutes with 0 coding knowledge required. That's the power of build mode. Let me give you some advanced tips real quick. Gemini 3 Pro in AI Studio can do what's called agentic coding. This means it can plan multi-file changes, write code, refactor code, and respond to your feedback across multiple sessions. You can build landing pages, interactive dashboards, even simple games. The key is to describe what you want clearly and let it figure out the steps. You can also ask it to add features like a generate with Veo 3.1 button that creates a structured prompt from your shot list. Even if you can't call Veo's API directly, you can generate the text prompt and paste it into a Veo interface. Here's some best practices you need to know. First, safety and compliance. Google has built-in safety filters, and all Nano Banana Pro images get watermarked with Synth ID. Always use AI responsibly, avoid harmful content and disallowed topics, and always disclose to your audience when content is AI generated. That's just being honest. Second, performance tips. Use Gemini 3 Pro for heavy reasoning, planning, and long context tasks. Use faster models for quick questions or drafts. When generating images, do batches instead of single prompts. It's way more efficient. For Veo 3.1, test short clips first, like 3 to 5 seconds, before you pay for longer sequences. Third, versioning and scaling. Save your build mode projects to GitHub for version control. When you outgrow the playground and need production level apps, move to Vertex AI or direct API integration. This gives you more control and better performance for real business use. Let me give you the comparison with old workflows. The old way was using ChatGPT for planning, then Midjourney for images, then Runway or Pika for video. That's 3 different subscriptions, 3 different interfaces, 3 different sets of prompts, and you're copying and pasting between them constantly. The new way is Gemini 3 Pro for planning, Nano Banana Pro for images, Veo 3.1 for video, all wired together in build mode. One workflow, one ecosystem, way less friction. Here's what you should do next. First, go try building one small app in build mode today. Start with something simple like a script generator or a thumbnail idea tool. Just get your hands dirty and see how it works. Second, experiment with Nano Banana Pro to create some visual assets. Make a few thumbnails, some diagrams, some storyboard frames, see what the quality is like. Third, if you have access to Veo 3.1, test it with image to video. Take one of your Nano Banana Pro images and animate it. See how the motion looks. The key is to actually use these tools, not just watch videos about them. That's how you learn what works and what doesn't. And comment below and tell me what you want to see automated next. Do you want a tutorial on building a specific type of app? Do you want to see more Veo 3.1 workflows? Let me know, because I read every comment and I make videos based on what you actually want to learn. If you want to go deeper, join AI Profit Boardroom. We teach you the exact systems to use AI for SEO, content creation, automation, and growing your business. We don't just show you tools, we show you how to build profitable systems with them. The link is in the description. This is where the real learning happens. Google Gemini just dropped 5 brand new updates that are completely free. And these updates are going to change everything about how you work with AI. I'm talking about memory that actually remembers you, a design tool that redesigns entire websites in seconds, and an AI mode in Google search that's way better than ChatGPT. Plus, there's a coding studio that builds apps for you and something called Dynamic View that creates interactive websites on the spot. This is huge. Let's get into it. All right, so update number 1 is Gemini's enhanced memory, and this is a game changer because now Gemini actually remembers who you are, what you do, and how you like things done. So here's how it works. You go into Gemini and you tell it stuff about yourself, like I'm a business owner, I like short answers, I work in SEO, whatever it is. And Gemini saves all of that. Then every time you talk to it, it remembers. But here's where it gets crazy. Google owns YouTube, they own Gmail, they own Google Drive, they own Google Docs, they own Google Search. So if you turn on the right settings, all of that data works together. Gemini knows your emails, your documents, your search history, everything. So let's say you tell Gemini, remember, I run a marketing agency. Remember, I focus on SEO and AI tools. Remember, my clients are in the tech space. Now, every time you ask Gemini something, it gives you answers based on that. It's like having an assistant who actually knows you. And you can update it anytime. Just say, remember this, and it saves it. Then it uses that info forever. No more repeating yourself, no more generic answers. Everything is personalized to you. Now, you can also train it on your past chats. So all those conversations you've had with Gemini before, it can learn from those too. This means the more you use it, the smarter it gets about what you need. And here's the best part. You can manage all of this in one place. There's a memory module where you can see everything Gemini knows about you. You can add stuff, delete stuff, change stuff. You're in control. This is huge for productivity because now you don't have to explain yourself every single time. Gemini just knows, and that saves you time. Google has this tool called Stitch, and they just added a redesign feature, and this thing is wild. So here's what it does. You take a screenshot of any website, you upload it to Stitch, then you tell it how you want it redesigned, and it redesigns the entire website for you in seconds. I'm talking about complete redesigns, new layouts, new colors, new sections, everything. And it looks professional, like really professional. So let's say you have a website that converts at 2%. You want to bump that up to 5%. You screenshot your homepage, upload it to Stitch, and say, make this convert better for people looking to get more Instagram followers. And boom, it gives you a completely new design. And you can do this over and over. You can generate multiple versions. You can annotate the design and tell it to change specific parts. You can give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. And when you're happy with it, you can export it directly to Google AI Studio and have it coded up for you. This is insane for anyone running a business because now you don't need to hire a designer. You don't need to spend weeks testing layouts. You just upload, describe what you want, and Stitch does the rest. And here's the crazy part. You can use this for apps too, not just websites. So if you have an app idea, you can sketch it out, upload it to Stitch, and get a professional design in minutes. Now, if you want to learn how to use tools like Google Gemini to automate your entire business and save hundreds of hours every month, you need to check out my AI Profit Boardroom. This is where I teach business owners how to use AI to scale faster, get more customers, and cut costs. We've got live trainings, automation templates, and a community of people who are already doing this. The link is in the description. Go check it out. All right, update number 3, Google completely changed how search works. And this is big because they're coming after ChatGPT hard. So now when you search on Google, there's something called AI mode. And it's not like the old AI overview. that just gave you a paragraph. This thing is interactive. You can have full conversations with it. You can ask it to create tables, compare things, break down complex topics, and it does it all in real time. So let's say you search, compare memory foam versus hybrid mattresses. In the old search, you get a bunch of links, maybe an AI overview, but now in AI mode, it creates a full table for you. Side-by-side comparison, pros, cons, prices, everything. And you can keep asking questions like which one is better for back pain? And it updates the table, which one lasts longer. It adds more info. You're not clicking links anymore. You're just talking to Gemini and getting exactly what you need. And here's where it gets even better. AI mode searches hundreds of sites in seconds. Then it pulls the best info and gives it to you in one place. So you're not wasting time reading 10 different articles. You're getting the answer right away. Plus, there's an AI history tab, so you can see all your past searches and conversations, and you can go back and continue them. This is huge if you're researching something over multiple days. And you can upload images, you can create images, you can even talk to it with your voice. So if you're driving or you're busy, you can just ask your questions out loud. This is Google saying, we're not losing to ChatGPT. We're going to dominate AI search. And honestly, they might be right, because this is really good. Update number 4 is Google AI Studio. And this is where things get wild, because now you can build apps that have Gemini built into them and you don't need to be a coder. So let's say you want to build an app that analyzes YouTube videos. You go into AI Studio, you tell it what you want, and it builds it for you. I'm not kidding. You just describe it and it codes the whole thing. I tested this myself. I built a YouTube video optimizer. You paste in a video URL, the title, the description, the script, and the app gives you AI feedback on how to make it better. It tells you what to change, what to add, what to remove, all automatically. And I built another one that generates YouTube thumbnails. You describe what you want, and it creates the thumbnail for you, professional looking, ready to upload. And here's the crazy part. You can export designs from Stitch directly into AI Studio. So you design something in Stitch, click export, and AI Studio codes it for you in seconds. Then you have a fully working app or website. All right, final update. This one is my favorite. It's called Dynamic View, and it's going to change education forever. So here's how it works. You ask Gemini a question, like explain how quantum mechanics works. And instead of giving you a text answer, it builds an entire interactive website for you on the spot. I'm talking about simulations, diagrams, examples, everything. It's like having a custom learning experience built just for you. And it happens in seconds. So I asked it about quantum mechanics, and it built me this thing called Quantum Explorer. It's a full website with interactive simulations. I can click buttons, run experiments, see how particles behave. It's like a science lab on my screen. And this works for anything. You can ask about biology, physics, history, coding, whatever, and it builds you a custom learning tool with visuals, with interactions, with everything you need to actually understand it. This is insane for students, because now you're not just reading boring text. You're actually interacting with the concepts. You're seeing them in action. You're learning by doing. And remember, this works with the memory feature. So if you tell Gemini, I learn best with visuals, or I like step-by-step explanations, it builds the experience based on that. It's personalized to you. I wish this existed when I was in school, because this would have saved me so much time. And I would have actually understood things instead of just memorizing them. And you can ask Gemini questions inside the dynamic view. So if something doesn't make sense, you just ask, and it updates the website in real time. It adds more examples, more simulations, more explanations until you get it. This is the future of learning, and it's free right now on Google Gemini. All right, so those are the 5 updates. Enhanced memory, Stitch redesign, AI mode in search, AI Studio for building apps, and Dynamic View for interactive learning. And all of this is free. You don't have to pay for Gemini Pro. You don't have to upgrade. It's all available right now. So if you're not using Gemini yet, now is the time, because Google is going all in on AI. And they're making it so easy to use that anyone can take advantage of it. Now, if you want to take this even further and learn how to automate your entire business with AI tools like Google Gemini, you need to join my AI Profit Boardroom. This is where I show you exactly how to use AI to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours every month. We've got step-by-step trainings, automation templates, live workshops, and a community of entrepreneurs who are already doing this. The link is in the description. Go check it out. You can now tap on images and they explain themselves, generate videos from photos in seconds, build interactive diagrams that teach you. The AI can even run tasks for you automatically. This isn't just an update. This is a total game changer. If you're a student, creator, or business owner, you need to see this. Today, I'm breaking down everything new, the stuff that actually matters, and how you can use it right now. Let's get into it. So Gemini just got a massive update. And when I say massive, I mean it. This is Gemini 3. Google is calling it their most intelligent model yet, and they're not lying. The way this thing understands context is wild. You can throw complex questions at it. It gets it. The responses are smarter, better formatted, and more helpful. But here's where it gets really interesting. The app itself got redesigned. There's now a My Stuff folder where you can organize all your images, videos, and created content in one place. No more searching through old chats trying to find that image you made last week. Everything is organized, everything is easy to access. But wait, there's more. Gemini now has something called generative interfaces. What does that mean? It means the app adapts to your prompt. If you ask for a visual layout, it gives you a visual layout. If you need an interactive diagram, it builds that. The AI understands what format makes the most sense and delivers it automatically. No extra work from you. Now, here's the part that blew my mind. Interactive images, let me explain. You know those complex diagrams in textbooks, biology diagrams, anatomy charts, chemistry structures? They used to just sit there static. You had to figure them out yourself, not anymore. Now you can tap on any part of the image and Gemini explains it. You tap on a part of a cell, it tells you what it does. You tap on a muscle in an anatomy chart, it breaks down its function. This is huge for students, huge for educators, huge for anyone learning something new. You're not just reading anymore, you're exploring, you're interacting. The app went from passive to active, and that changes everything. All right, let me talk about image generation. The old tool was called Nano Banana. It was decent, but now we have Nano Banana Pro, also called Gemini 3 Pro Image. The quality is way better. The context awareness is better. It can handle multilingual text and images. The formatting is cleaner. The layouts are more professional. If you're making graphics for social media, presentations, or marketing, this is a game changer. You can create professional looking visuals in seconds. No design skills needed. No expensive software, just you and the AI. But it gets even crazier. Video generation. Gemini now has a tool called VO 3.1. You can turn images into videos. You can control the style, the scene, the characters, the objects, everything. Content creators, listen up. You can upload a photo and turn it into a full video with motion, with transitions, with creative control. If you're making explainer videos, tutorials, or social media content, you need to try this. It's fast, it's easy, and the results are insane. Now, here's something for the power users. Gemini Agent. This is rolling out to Ultra subscribers first. What does it do? It performs tasks for you. Multi-step tasks like organizing your inbox, booking appointments, planning trips, managing your schedule. It's not just answering questions anymore. It's doing the work. This is where AI goes from assistant to agent, and it's only going to get better. All right. So if you're loving this content and you want to learn how to automate your entire business with tools like Gemini, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where I show you exactly how to save hundreds of hours and scale your business using AI automation. Inside, you'll get access to AI workflows, case studies, and a community of entrepreneurs who are already using AI to transform their businesses, whether you're using Gemini for content creation, productivity, or customer service. The AI Profit Boardroom will show you how to take it to the next level. Click the link in the description and join us today. Let me give you some real examples. Say you're a student studying biology. You've got a complex diagram of the human heart. Before you'd stare at it, try to memorize the parts, maybe Google each term individually. Now, you upload it to Gemini, tap on the aorta. Gemini explains what it does, tap on the ventricle, it breaks down its function. You're learning faster, you're understanding deeper. This is the future of education. Example 2, you're a content creator, you need to make an infographic for Instagram. Before, you'd open Canva, mess around with templates, spend an hour getting it right. Now, you tell Gemini what you want. It generates the layout, adds the text, formats everything. You're done in 5 minutes. Example 3, you're making a tutorial video. You need visuals to explain a concept. Before, you'd film everything, edit in Premiere Pro, add motion graphics, hours of work. Now, you give Gemini a photo or reference frame. It generates the video with the style you want, the motion you need, the explanation built in. You just saved yourself days of work. Example 4, you're a developer or power user. You want to build an app that auto-generates educational content. Before, you'd need multiple tools, multiple APIs, a lot of coding. Now, Gemini has an API. You can tap into the image generation, the video generation, the interactive visuals, all in one place. You build faster, you launch faster, you scale faster. Now, let me show you the before and after, because this is important. Old Gemini could do basic stuff, text generation, image understanding, simple image creation. It was good, but it had limits. The image generation wasn't great. Video creation was almost non-existent for most users. Diagrams were static. You couldn't interact with anything, and there was no agent feature. You had to do everything manually. New Gemini, everything levels up. The multimodal understanding is way deeper. It gets context better. It combines text, images, and data seamlessly. The image generation went from decent to professional. Video generation is now built in. Diagrams are interactive. You can tap and explore. And the agent feature automates tasks. This isn't a small update. This is a total transformation. Gemini went from a smart assistant to a full creative and productivity platform, and that's huge. Let me talk about what this means for you. If you're a student, your learning just got 10 times easier. You can interact with your study materials, get instant explanations, create study aids in seconds. If you're a teacher or educator, you can make better content faster. Interactive diagrams for your students, custom visuals for your lessons, videos that explain complex topics. If you're a content creator, you just got a massive upgrade. You can generate graphics, videos, and layouts without expensive tools. You can create professional content in minutes instead of hours. If you're running a business, you can automate tasks, save time on emails, planning, and organization. Use AI to do the heavy lifting. And if you're a developer, you can build tools and apps faster. You have access to powerful APIs. You can create educational platforms, creative tools, and more. This democratizes creation. You don't need advanced skills. You don't need expensive software. You just need Gemini. Now, let's be real, it's not perfect. Some features are limited to pro or ultra users. If you're on the free plan, you might not get everything. The agent feature is only available to certain subscribers right now. If you haven't tried Gemini 3 yet, you need to. Upload a diagram from your textbook. See what happens. Ask it to make an infographic. See what it creates. Try the video generation, see how fast it is. This is the future, and it's here now. If you want to go even deeper with AI automation and learn how to use tools like Gemini to transform your business, join the AI Profit Boardroom. You'll get advanced workflows, expert guidance, and a community of people who are already seeing results with AI. The link is in the description. New Google Gemini 3.0 is here. Google just dropped Gemini 3. This thing is nuts. It can build entire apps from a single sentence. It thinks deeper than any AI you've used, and it's changing how we work with AI forever. Today, I'm showing you everything. Now, Google just released Gemini 3, and this is the biggest AI update we've seen in months. I'm talking about an AI that can actually think through problems like a human, an AI that builds apps while you watch, an AI that creates interactive websites on the fly. This isn't just another chatbot upgrade. This is a complete game changer for anyone who uses AI for work. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to use it. So let's dive in. First, what makes Gemini 3 so special? Google calls this their most intelligent AI model ever. And they're not just hyping it up. This thing has 3 major upgrades that blow everything else out of the water. Number 1, it thinks deeper. Number 2, it understands everything you throw at it. Number 3, it creates interactive content in real time. Let me break each one down for you. The first upgrade is called Deep Think Mode. This is huge. Most AI models give you quick answers. They're fast, but they're surface level. Gemini 3 with Deep Think actually stops and thinks. It breaks down your question into smaller parts. It analyzes each part separately, then it puts everything together into a complete answer. This means you get way better responses without typing long prompts. You can throw a research paper at it, ask it to analyze a complex sports strategy, or have it solve a business problem with multiple moving parts, and it handles it all. The second upgrade is multimodal understanding. And Gemini 3 doesn't just read text, it sees images, it watches videos, it connects all of it together. You can upload a screenshot and ask it to explain what's happening. You can show it a diagram and ask it to recreate it. You can even give it a video and ask it to summarize the key points. This opens up so many use cases. For content creators, you can analyze competitor videos. For developers, you can show it a design and ask it to code it. For researchers, you can feed it visual data and get instant insights. Before I move further, let me tell you about 2 things that are going to change your business. First is my AI Profit Boardroom. This is the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. It's completely free. Inside, you get 50 plus free AI tools and 200 plus ChatGPT SEO prompts. You get 1,000 plus free N8N workflows. You get a full blueprint to generate thousands of leads free with AI. Plus, you get a free AI community, a free AI course, and proven AI case studies. Both links are in the description. Join now. All right, let's keep going. The third upgrade is the wildest one. It's called generative interfaces. This is where Gemini 3 gets really crazy. You give it a prompt, and it doesn't just give you text back, it builds an entire interactive interface. I'm talking clickable buttons, tabs that switch between different views, widgets that update in real time, dynamic layouts that adjust based on what you need. All generated on the fly from your prompt. Let me give you an example. You could say, show me a comparison of 3 marketing strategies. And Gemini 3 doesn't just list them out. It creates a full interactive dashboard with tabs for each strategy, charts that visualize the data, buttons to dive deeper into each one. This is insane for productivity. You're not just getting information anymore. You're getting working tools built for you instantly. Now, let me talk about vibe coding. This is Gemini 3's coding superpower. Vibe coding means you describe what you want in plain English, and Gemini 3 builds the entire app for you. No technical knowledge needed, no complicated coding skills required. You just tell it what you want, and it handles the rest. Want a progress tracker for your team? Describe it and watch it build. Want a custom calculator for your business? Tell it what calculations you need, and it creates it. Want a visual tool to organize your projects? Explain your workflow, and it makes it happen. This is autonomy we've never seen before. The AI isn't just helping you code, it's doing the coding for you start to finish. For entrepreneurs, this is massive. You can build tools for your business without hiring developers. You can test ideas fast without spending months on development. You can create custom solutions that fit your exact needs. And here's where it gets even better. Gemini 3 is integrated across all of Google's products. That means you're using it even if you don't realize it. It's in Google search with something called AI mode. When you search now, you don't just get links, you get immersive visual layouts, interactive elements built into your search results, dynamic content that adapts to what you're looking for. It's like having a personal research assistant built into search. Gemini 3 is also in Google AI Studio. This is where developers and power users can really push the limits. You get access to the full API, where you can build your own applications on top of Gemini 3. You can integrate it into your existing workflows, and you can customize it for your specific use cases. But wait, there's more. And this part is wild. Gemini 3 now has video generation built in. It's powered by something called Veo 3.1 API. This isn't just any video generator. This thing creates high quality video with native audio. You can give it a text prompt, and it generates the video. You can upload a reference image, and it keeps the subject consistent across frames. You can even extend existing videos or generate specific frames. Let me give you some examples of what this means. Say you're a content creator, you need B-roll footage for your video. Instead of searching stock libraries for hours, you describe what you need. Gemini 3 generates it for you. Custom footage that matches your exact vision, or say you're a marketer, you need product demo videos. Upload a photo of your product. Describe how you want it showcased, and Gemini 3 creates the entire video for you. Or say you're an educator, you need animated explanations for complex topics. You describe the concept. Gemini 3 turns it into a visual video that makes it easy to understand. This is the future of video content. No expensive production teams, no hours of editing. Just describe what you want and get it. Now, let me show you how to actually use Gemini 3 today, because all of this sounds amazing, but you need to know where to access it. The easiest way is through Google AI Studio. This is Google's platform for trying out their latest AI models. You can access Gemini 3 right now. You can test deep think mode. You can try vibe coding. You can experiment with video generation. It's all available to use. Another way is through AI mode in Google search. Just search like you normally would, but now you'll see these rich interactive results powered by Gemini 3. It's seamless, and it built right into your search experience. And if you're a developer, you can use the Gemini API. This lets you integrate Gemini 3 into your own apps and tools. You get full access to all the capabilities I just talked about, and you can build custom solutions for your business or your clients. So what should you actually use Gemini 3 for? Let me give you some practical examples. If you're doing research, use deep think mode. Feed it complex papers or data. Ask it to find connections you might have missed. Get summaries that actually understand the nuance. If you're building tools, use vibe coding. Describe the app you need. Let Gemini 3 build it for you. Iterate fast without technical bottlenecks. If you're creating content, use the video generation. Make custom footage for your videos. Create animated explainers. Generate visual assets that fit your brand. If you're analyzing data, use the multimodal capabilities. Upload charts, screenshots or diagrams. Ask Gemini 3 to explain trends or patterns. Get insights you wouldn't catch on your own. The key here is that Gemini 3 adapts to how you work. It's not a one-size-fits-all tool. It's flexible enough to handle whatever you throw at it. Now, let me talk about something important. This is a tool, not magic. You still need to guide it. You still need to ask the right questions, and you still need to verify what it gives you. But when you use it right, it's incredibly powerful. It saves you hours of work. It opens up capabilities you didn't have before, and it levels the playing field for anyone who wants to build with AI. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Let me know what you're most excited to try with Gemini 3. Are you hyped for vibe coding? Do you want to test deep think mode? Or are you all in on video generation? Drop a comment and let's talk about it. Before I wrap up, I want to tell you about something that's going to help you even more. If you're serious about using AI to scale your business, you need to check out AI Profit Boardroom. This is the best place to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds with AI automation. Inside, you'll get access to proven strategies, tools, and workflows that are working right now. You'll connect with other entrepreneurs who are building with AI, and you'll get step-by-step guidance on implementing AI in your business. Head to the link in the description to learn more. This is where the real transformation happens. So here's my final takeaway for you. Gemini 3 is not just an upgrade, it's a shift in what's possible with AI. The combination of deep think mode, multimodal understanding, generative interfaces, vibe coding, and video generation is unprecedented. This is the kind of tool that changes how you work. It automates tasks that used to take hours. It creates outputs that used to require entire teams, and it does it all faster and better than anything we've had before. If you're not experimenting with Gemini 3 yet, now's the time. Get into Google AI Studio, start testing what it can do, push it to the limits and see what you can build, because the people who master this early are going to have a massive advantage. They're going to build faster. They're going to create better content, and they're going to solve problems their competitors can't. So don't sleep on this. Gemini 3 is here, and it's changing the game. Now let me tell you about something that's going to take everything you just learned to the next level. New Gemini 3.0 update is insane. So Google just released Gemini 3 Pro, not a rumor, not a leak. It's rolling out globally today. This is the first model in the Gemini 3 family, and Google is bringing this to more products than they ever have before. They're calling this their most anticipated launch of the year. And after seeing what it can do, I get why Gemini 3 is Google's most intelligent model yet. That's what they're saying. And they're backing it up with some wild features. First, generative interfaces. This means responses that are perfectly designed for what you need. Not just text, not just an answer, full designed outputs that match your request. Second, Gemini Agent. This is AI that completes complex tasks for you, not answers questions, does the actual work, plans it, executes it, finishes it. And third, it can help you learn, build, and plan anything. Those are Google's words, anything. Let me break down what that means. Google says today they're taking a big step on the path toward AGI. That's artificial general intelligence AI that can do anything a human can do. They're not saying they built AGI, they're saying this is a big step toward it, and Gemini 3 is the model that gets them closer. Google says with Gemini 3, you can bring any idea to life, any idea. That's a big claim, but they're backing it up with three things. First, it's state of the art in reasoning. That means it thinks better than any other AI. It can work through complex problems, plan multiple steps, connect ideas, make decisions. This is the thinking part. Second, it's the best model in the world for multimodal understanding. Best in the world. That's not me saying it, that's Google. Multimodal means images, text, video, audio. It understands all of it better than anything else. And third, it's their best agentic and vibe coding model. Agentic means it acts like an agent. It does things. Vibe coding means it writes code that feels right, code that matches your style, code that just works. Let's talk about the image stuff, because this is where it gets insane. With Gemini 3, you can take an image of anything, a board game, a floor plan, a doodle, anything. And Gemini 3 can make it an interactive experience, not describe it, not tell you about it, make it interactive, make it work. This is because of Gemini 3's deep multimodal understanding. Here's how it works. The model looks at your image, it analyzes the content, it figures out what the image is trying to be. Then it distills the most compelling parts. It finds what matters, what's important, what makes sense. Then it translates the image's details into a functional, interactive experience. Functional means it works. Interactive means you can use it. And if you want to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation, you need to check out my AI Profit Boardroom. Not just play around with it, actually build systems that grow your business. Inside, you'll learn how to automate your marketing, generate leads on autopilot, and use AI to do the work that used to take your entire team. I'll drop the link below. So let me give you examples. You draw a board game on paper, just a sketch. You take a photo of it, you upload it to Gemini 3. The AI looks at your drawing, it sees the board, the spaces, the rules you wrote down, it figures out how the game works, then it builds you a playable version. You can click on it, move pieces, play the game. You didn't code anything, you didn't design anything, you just drew it. Gemini 3 did the rest. Or maybe you just doodle something. An idea, a concept, a design. You're not even sure what it is yet. You upload it. Gemini 3 looks at it. It figures out what you're trying to make. It sees the patterns, the structure, the intent. Then it turns it into something you can interact with, maybe a prototype, maybe a mock-up, maybe a working demo. This is what deep multimodal understanding means. The AI doesn't just see pixels, it understands what the image is supposed to be, what it could become. Now let's talk about reasoning, because this is what makes Gemini 3 different from everything else. State-of-the-art reasoning means it thinks deeper. Most AI gives you quick answers. Gemini 3 thinks through problems, it plans, it considers options, it works through steps. Let's say you ask it to plan a project. A normal AI might give you a list. Gemini 3 builds you a real plan. It thinks about dependencies, what needs to happen first, what can happen at the same time, what might go wrong. It reasons through it like a human would, but faster and more thorough. This reasoning also shows up in coding. Google calls this vibe coding, and I love that term. Vibe coding means the AI writes code that feels right. It's not just correct, it's clean, it's organized, it matches your style. If you like short variable names, it uses short names. If you like comments, it adds comments. If you like a certain structure, it follows that structure, it vibes with you. And because of the reasoning, the code actually works. It's not just syntactically correct, it solves the problem, it handles edge cases, it's production ready. And then there's the agent part, Gemini Agent. This is AI that completes complex tasks on your behalf. Not simple tasks, complex tasks, tasks that have multiple steps, tasks that need tools, tasks that take time. You tell Gemini Agent what you want done, it breaks it down, it makes a plan, it uses the tools it needs, it executes each step, it checks the results, it fixes problems, it keeps going until the task is done. You don't manage it, you don't supervise it, you just tell it what you want, it handles the rest. Let me give you a real example. Let's say you want to build a website. You tell Gemini Agent to build you a landing page for your business. Our normal AI might give you some HTML code. Gemini Agent actually builds it. It asks you what your business does. It researches similar websites. It designs a layout. It writes the copy. It codes the page. It tests it in a browser. It checks for bugs. It fixes them. Then it shows you the finished page. All of that from one request. That's what an agent does. Now let's talk about the generative interfaces. This is one of those features that sounds boring, but is actually game-changing. Generative interfaces means the AI doesn't just give you text, it generates the perfect interface for your answer. If you ask for data, it might build you a chart. If you ask for a plan, it might create a timeline. If you ask how something works, it might generate a diagram. The interface matches what you need. It's designed for your specific request. This makes information way easier to understand, way easier to use. And because Gemini 3 is rolling out to more products than ever, you're going to see this everywhere. Google Search, Gmail, Google Docs, Google Sheets, all the Google apps. Gemini 3 is going to be built in. That means this intelligence, this reasoning, this multimodal understanding is going to be available wherever you work. You won't need to switch apps. You won't need to copy and paste. The AI is just there, helping you, building for you, thinking with you. So what does this mean for you? Let's get practical. If you're learning something, Gemini 3 can be your tutor. It can explain hard concepts, walk you through problems, create study guides, build interactive lessons, all tailored to how you learn. If you're building something, Gemini 3 can turn your ideas into reality sketch something. The AI builds it, describes something, the AI codes it, show it an example, the AI makes your version. And if you're planning something, a business, a project, an event, Gemini 3 can help you plan it all. It can think through the steps, consider the risks, build the timeline, create the documents, do the research. This is AI that works with you, not just for you. And if you want to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation, you need to check out my AI Profit Boardroom. Actually build systems that grow your business. Inside, you'll learn how to automate your marketing, generate leads on autopilot, and use AI to do the work that used to take your entire team. So today, we're going to basically show you how to use Workspace Flows, which is a new update from Google Gemini. And you can see over here, you can start using it. Now, if you want to toggle this on, all you do is you click on Flows at the top over here, and you make sure you have this toggled on inside your workspace. All right. So once you've done that, then you're going to go to Workspace Flows. If you've not seen this before, this is basically a new update from Google and Google Gemini, and it's an AI agent that can automate work across your different tasks. Now, you've got these AI agent workflows that you can use to create agents, to automate certain tasks, and you can even connect these to third parties as well. So let me show you exactly how this works. We're going to test this out. So if we go to C templates over here, and then inside the C templates, you can start automating your work with the AI agents, right? And there's a bunch of different options here. So for example, you can get news headlines summarized daily. You could, for example, label emails with action items, and you can get a daily summary of unread emails. So it basically automates a lot of different tasks, and you can see which different apps you would use inside each process. You could notify yourself for emails with a keyword, and they'll actually drop a message over to you here. You could get pre-meeting briefs in the chat, as you can see. You've got all these different options for automating the AI agents and then starting to use these processes. So for example, we say, notify me about emails from key people. So it's kind of like a really easy drag and drop two-step process. And then we can say, okay, any emails from juliangoldie@gmail.com. And it has the words, so you can actually limit those emails. So then it will summarize and notify you in chat, right? So it will actually summarize what this person has said to you. So you've got the prompt on the right-hand side here. So it's like, right, here's what to summarize the email. And then you've got the email thread over here, right? And then inside the additional instruction section, you can see the goal, the instructions, and exactly what it's going to do step by step, right? So if we click on turn on, that will switch the agent on, or we can click on test run and just try it out. So let's do a test run. So we're going to say, okay, when I get an email, start this out. So we're going to click on start now, and we have to just make sure that we're selecting all emails as well, I believe. There we go. And then it's going to do a test run using existing data. So you can see the email result received over here. We'll click on start. And then it's right, when I get an email, so for example, this email received right here. And we can see an example of the email too. For example, this is the email that's been sent, and this is the one that's being used for the example test, right, which is from LinkedIn. So when we receive this email, then it's going to actually use that flow to summarize the email. So if we go back to flows.workspace.google.com, you can now see that when we get that email, it's going to summarize the information, and then it's right, here's what I think needs your response. And it gives me like the FYI, right? So you can see here, for example, it says the ChatGPT 5.1 update introduces two distinct personalities. And it's quite interesting because it's basically read through the whole email and then said, here's the information that you need to know. And then it sent a message to Google Chat. And so inside Google Chat, we receive a message from Gemini directly. Right? So it's so easy to automate these workflows. It's a lot easier than using something like, this reminds me like Zapier, but it's a lot easier than using something like Zapier because it's pre-made, right? You got these pre-made templates, and also you don't need to connect any APIs. And as far as I'm aware, I think as long as you're on the Google Workspace, it's just a feature that's included, right? So I don't think you pay any extra for it. It's just going to include it if you're on like the Gemini. I think it'd be Pro plan that you're on right there. So really easy to set up. Let's try another one now. So we've got that all ready to go. We can also go back to my AI agents over here. We can edit, test, check the activity, etc. So if we go to activity, you can see this has been running, and it says data available for 40 days. So it must be like basically when you run these workflows, you'll have the history for the last 40 days, and then you can switch between all types, right? So for example, the tasks that are complete, in progress, had issues, and then you can refresh to Pretty simple and easy to do. Now, if we go back to the Discover tab here, we can test more stuff, and we can also describe a task that we want to do, right? So, for example, you could say, create an SEO blog each day about the latest AI updates. So you can actually schedule a task, and then it would generate that inside your Google Workspace. And this could be, for example, setting a reminder, managing requests, catching up on yesterday, or even just labeling your emails, right? So you can see the prompts you could use. So for example, every Friday, ping me to update my tracker. Every time I get an email, decide if there's a question for me, and if there is, ping me. Every morning, catch me up on yesterday's unread emails in chat. And then if an email contains a question or an action item, label the email as to respond. So let's try this one. We're going to click on every morning, catch me up on yesterday's unread emails, hit create, and then we're now generating and creating the workflow. So it's basically on the schedule. So we said, okay, every Monday at 8 a.m. do this, right? And we repeat that daily. Now you could repeat it multiple times per day as well. So if you want to schedule the task a few times a day, you can, if you really want to. And you can switch between weekly, every other week, monthly, annually, every weekday, etc. And then under the show more section here, you can select the time zone. So that time zone is going to correlate to that time over here. Once you've done that, then you're going to switch over to actions. And this is a prompt. Now, this is pre-filled in because we're using the templates. You can always customize this however you want to. But the main point here is you can automate the workflows. And again, it's pretty easy and simple to set up, right? So for example, filter the emails, identify action items based on those emails, identify themes. You've basically got like an automated email agent that can search for your emails, figure everything out, run through it. And the cool thing about this is it's not going to cost you an extra subscription like most other AI super agents. And then additionally, it's fully automated for you, and you can use the templates so that everything is kind of like working in one ecosystem. And then you've got the formatting, how to categorize stuff, etc. Right? From there, you can also notify yourself in chat, and you can add a new step here if you want to as well. So that could be, for example, asking Gemini or asking a gem. Now, this is interesting too, because if you ask a gem, basically what you're doing is you're linking any sort of custom AI agents that you've built inside Gemini to your workflow. So what do I mean by that? For example, if we go over to Gemini here, let's say we're using, for example, an SEO content writer to generate content for our workflow, right? We could actually integrate that and automate it and build these custom gems. And then what we can do is use that inside our workflow inside of Google Flows. As an example of that, let's go back. So you can see over here, we have the Ask a Gem option, and then we can select our gem. We've got a bunch of options here, and you can use these gems to generate your outputs, right? Now you can click on create or edit gems as well, and then edit your own gems over here. And then you can enter a prompt plus add variables, right? So if you add a variable, what you can actually do is tag in that step from the workflow. So you can say, right, okay, using the unread emails, right? So if you click on this, select unread emails, then we can ask the gem information about the information from step 1 or step 2. So we can reference different previous steps to build that workflow out. And then you can also see here, you can switch between what sources Gemini can use. So for example, web, workspace, and connected apps, or web only. Now, what's pretty cool about this as well is that you could add a step here. And then you could say, okay, send an email, or add labels, or remove labels, or draft a reply, right? So you can actually automate your emails fully, draft replies each time, and then use that to basically automate your processes here as well. Really cool stuff. And the other cool thing about this as well, for us, we spend about, I think it's like $500 a month on Zapier requests, right? And it gets pretty expensive. Whereas with this, you can create workflows for no extra price inside your Google Workspace using the Ultra plan instead. And then you don't need to worry about any issues. You can also link this with your CRM. So you got, for example, Salesforce over here, QuickBooks integrations, MailChimp integrations, Jira, Confluence. So you can link this to other different CRMs too. And then you can additionally set up meetings and that sort of thing. Overwhelming how much you can do with this and how easy it is to use. But it's really exciting. Lots of cool stuff there. Again, you can see the activity. And the other cool thing here as well is you can actually link this, right? So you can share this link with other people. create custom workflows, and then use those to share that information with people and get them involved too. So it's absolutely endless what you can do with this, but really fun to play with it too. And if you go back to discover here, you can again describe what you want to do, how you want to do it. And then the other cool thing here is you've got different categories. So you could say, okay, I want to focus on improving our meetings. So we could get pre-meeting chats. We could send guest summaries. We could send summaries and action items, get meeting reminders by email and chat, etc. You can also connect your team. So you could auto request team updates weekly, right? So for example, if there's certain updates and management reports that you need from your team, you can automatically request them using this over here, right? And then you got tasks and actions. The only thing that I don't like here is like, it links a lot to Google Chat, but I don't know about you, but I don't use Google Chat at all. So I think like they're trying to encourage people to use it, or they're just trying to find easy ways to work around maybe some stuff that's missing inside the ecosystem of Google. But either way, it's pretty cool, and there's so much you can do with this. All right. So thanks so much for watching. If you want to get help, coaching, advice, etc., feel free to get the AI Profit Boardroom. It's basically the best community that I've ever built. And essentially, what you can do is join the AI Profit Boardroom, and inside there, you get access to an awesome community. So you can get an awesome community of people sharing, learning, growing together, all this different cool stuff. We actually shared a bunch of new training here on like how to get podcasts, for example. You can see we've got a bunch of other stuff right here. So for example, Steve is sharing like how he created YouTube thumbnails as a visual hook, all sorts of amazing stuff. And you can post inside the community, super active, lots of cool people in there, and you can connect with a bunch of people who are serious about growing their business and automating with AI. You can also see that it comes with all of our best classrooms and courses. So for example, we have a 6-week AI automation masterclass, as you can see, with all of these different sections here, where you can learn about AI. You can go from like beginner to expert. You can see how to build your first AI agent in under 5 minutes. You also get all of my best automations on, for example, how to automate your emails, how we reach 6 million people per month with X and Twitter, how we automate our shorts, how we get sales from Instagram using shorts, and how we automate AI avatar videos, along with loads of other cool stuff here too. On top of that, you get our affiliate marketing course, lead generation automations, email and content automations, NA10 templates, basically everything you need to automate your business. Google just dropped an update to Gemini CLI that's going to blow your mind. I'm talking interactive shells running inside your AI agent, custom/commands that automate your entire workflow, and a UI overhaul that makes your terminal look like a sci-fi movie. This isn't just an update. This is a complete game changer for developers, and I'm about to show you exactly how to use it to save hours every single day. Gemini CL, I just got a massive update, and it's actually crazy. If you're a developer or you work in the terminal at all, you need to hear this, because what Google just did is kind of revolutionary. Let me break down what Gemini CLI is first. It's basically an AI agent that lives inside your terminal. You can chat with it, ask it questions, analyze code, run commands, but it can actually do stuff on your computer, and it's open source. Now, here's where it gets wild. The new updates make it feel like a completely different tool. I'm talking 3 major changes that are going to change how you work. First up is interactive shell support, and this is huge. You can now run Vim inside Gemini CLI. You can run HDOP, you can run Gate Rebase, all those interactive terminal apps that you normally can't use in AI tools. They work perfectly now. Here's why that matters. Before, if you wanted to edit a file, you'd have to exit Gemini CLI, open Vim, make your changes, then come back. Now you can just open Vim right there inside the chat. Everything stays in context. They're using something called PTY, which stands for pseudo terminal. Your keystrokes go straight into the process. You can resize your terminal, and the app adapts. Colors work, syntax highlighting works. It's like running a real terminal inside your AI agent. And this is enabled by default in version 0.9.0. So if you upgrade, you get it automatically. But wait, it gets better. The second major update is a complete UI overhaul. Version 0.15.0 just dropped, and they rebuilt the entire rendering system. The terminal doesn't flicker anymore. When you resize your window, nothing breaks. The input prompt stays at the bottom where it should be. You can now click into the input prompt with your mouse. Before you had to use arrow keys for everything. Now you just click. They added sticky headers, so when you're scrolling through a long output, the important header lines stay visible. You don't lose context. The rendering is flicker-free now, way smoother, way more stable. It actually feels professional. And your history is preserved. Even though they use alternate screen buffers, when you exit, your full chat history is still there. You can scroll back through everything. Now, the third update is where things get really interesting. Custom/commands. You can now create your own commands using TOML files, and these aren't just shortcuts. These are full-blown automation tools. Here's how it works. You create a file in your Gemini commands folder. You write a prompt in that file. You can use placeholders like args to pass in variables, and you can even run shell commands inside the prompt. So imagine you type /plan, build a new feature, Gemini CLI takes your command, plugs it into your custom prompt, runs it, and gives you a full plan all from one command. Or you could create a /review command that takes your git diff, analyzes it, and gives you code review feedback, one command. Done. You can turn MCP prompts into /commands. So if you're using a custom MCP server, all those prompts show up in Gemini CLI automatically. You can even namespace your commands, so you could have /git commit and /git push and /git review all organized in folders. This is huge for automation. You can build workflows, you can create reusable prompts, you can save hours every single day by turning repetitive tasks into one-line commands. In version 0.11.0, they added more updates. You can stream JSON output now, perfect for automation. They added a markdown toggle. You can edit queued messages with arrow keys. They improved web fetch for JSON APIs, and you can run /commands non-interactively from scripts. Now let me tell you why this all matters. Before these updates, using an AI agent in the terminal meant constant context switching. You'd ask a question, get an answer, then go do the work somewhere else. Now everything happens in one place. You ask, you act, you iterate, all in the same context. The UI improvements mean you actually want to use it. It's smooth, it's stable, it feels good, and custom/commands mean you can build your own tools. You're not limited to what Google gives you. You can automate your exact workflow. This is what AI tooling should be: flexible, powerful, actually useful. Now, before you go upgrade everything, let me give you some tips. First, back up your config folder. It's in your home directory under .gemini. Second, check your version after upgrading. Run Gemini version to make sure you're on the latest. Third, start simple with /commands. Don't try to build something crazy on day one. Make a basic command, test it, then add complexity. Fourth, review your TOML files carefully, especially if you're running shell commands inside them. Don't run untrusted code. You stay updated. Follow the GitHub repo, check the changelog. They're shipping new features constantly. Now, here's something you need to know. There were some security concerns reported about Gemini CLI. Some articles mentioned a flaw that could let malicious commands run if you used untrusted files. So be smart. Use best practices. Don't run random code. And let me tell you where this is all going, because the future of this tool is wild. They're already working on click and drag scroll bars, better copy-paste features, more UI polish. This isn't the final version. This is just the start. And here's what I think is going to happen. Gemini CLI is going to become the standard for AI agents in the terminal. Why? Because it's open source, it's flexible, it's powerful, and now it's actually pleasant to use. If you're not paying attention to this tool, you're missing out, because the developers who adopt this early are going to have a massive edge over everyone else. They're going to be faster, more efficient, more productive, while everyone else is still copying and pasting code from ChatGPT. Now, let me tell you about something that's going to take your AI game to the next level. If you want to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation, you need to check out my AI Profit Boardroom. This is where I share the exact strategies I use to run my 7-figure agency with AI. We're talking real workflows, real automation, real results. You get access to cutting-edge AI tools, proven case studies, and a community of people who are actually doing this stuff. Head to the link in the description. So here's what you need to do right now. Go upgrade Gemini CLI, run npm install -g at Google/Gemini CLI at latest, or use npx, then open it up, try running Vim inside it, try running htop. Feel how smooth it is. Create your first /command. Start with something simple, maybe a planning command, maybe a review command, and then start building, start automating, start saving time, because this tool is a game changer, and the people who adopt it early are going to have a massive advantage. Julian Goldie reads every comment, so make sure you comment below. Tell me what /commands you're going to build. Tell me how you're using Gemini CLI. Now, if you want to save time and automate your business with AI tools like Google Gemini, you need to check out the AI Profit Boardroom. This is where we teach you how to scale your business, get more customers, and save hundreds of hours with AI automation. We cover all these tools. We give you the exact processes, and you get to see how other businesses are using Gemini and other AI tools to grow faster. The link is in the description. And trust me, if you're serious about using AI in your business, this is where you want to be. And if you want the full process, SOPs, and 100 plus AI use cases like this one, join the AI Success Lab. Links in the comments and description. You'll get all the video notes from there, plus access to our community of 38,000 members who are crushing it with AI. We break down every major AI update. We show you exactly how to use these tools, and you get to learn from thousands of other people who are already getting results. That's it for today. Hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.